is Trojan football on your new home for Trojan athletics, Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Crocan Telephone, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Brumback Service Center, Call Service, Chicken Annie's of Girard, Chris Paoni, DDS, Community National Bank and Trust, Evans Motors, Exchange State Bank, Farm Bureau Financial Services, First National Bank, Fort Scott Community College, Girard National Bank, G&W Foods Family Super, Hydrix TV and Appliance, Canar Eye Care, Lehman Realty, Larrett Ceramics, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Medical Lodges Girard, Mini Stop, Norris Outdoor, Pearls and Curls Boutique, Producers Cooperative Association, TJ Belcher at State Farm Insurance, and Westridge Assisted Living. This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Hey, good Friday evening, everyone. Welcome to another day of high school football here in Girard, Kansas, home of the Trojans. Frank Jameson Field is the location as Girard Trojans get ready to kick off their home opener against the Riverton Rams. B.J. Harris along with you, alongside me, Zach Adams, getting ready for this ball game. Girard Trojans going to take on the Riverton Rams. Both these teams coming into this ball game at 0-1 on the season. So the good news is somebody's going to get a win here and get to go to next week's game to get to 500 or get above 500 if they can. But it all starts here tonight as the Girard Trojans welcome in the Riverton Rams. The Trojans, of course, coming back off a loss to the Frontenac Raiders 33-6 last week. They fell behind early 0-6. They did tie the game on a great scramble and pitch and catch from Ty Norris to Cam McFarland. Frontenac did score late in the first half to take the 13-6 lead at halftime. But all in all, I think people felt good about the Trojans' performance in that first half. But in the second half, a much different story. Frontenac came out quickly and scored in the second half. In fact, they blanked the Trojans in the second half of the ball game, 20-0. To get that victory. The Raiders move to 1-0. That's a good matchup they're in tonight. They're at Galena. We'll talk more about that when we go around the league here in just a little bit. The positives in that ball game, I think, for the Trojans, they did win the turnover battle and limited some mental mistakes that plagued them a year ago. And the defense, I think, was pretty good at times, but the negatives outweighed that at times. Still not real comfortable, I think, in this new offense under a new head coach, and you get that installed, and some of those mistakes are going to happen. And so the Trojans open up the year on the road with a loss against the Frontenac Raiders. Riverton Rams didn't fare as well either. 0-1. They lost to one of the top teams in the CNC. The team picked to win the CNC, and a team picked in the top 5 right now in Class 4A Division II, the Columbus Titans. And they're struggling a little bit, are the Riverton Rams, with a young, an experienced coach, but a new coach, and some young players, as well as some limited numbers on their squad. Much of the things the Trojans are struggling with as well. But for the Trojans, plenty of areas to improve, Zach, as we bring you in here. And we talked with Coach Philpott, I did, and we'll hear from him in just a little bit. But positive things, certainly they could work on from a week ago, but obviously some things they need to clean up to go in against this game against the Rams.
Yeah, we saw a lot of things last week, BJ. They came out early. They were hitting hard. Defense was swarming to the ball, being in the right place at the right time. What we did see that they could work on, we saw some missed tackles. We saw some arms get run through. We saw some plays not quite get finished up. So that's definitely an area that they could work to improve, and I'm sure that they probably did that this week. Some offense sputtered a little bit and couldn't quite get anything going once Frontenac kind of picked up that momentum. I'm curious to see how that looks tonight against this Rams team.
Yeah, I run into 2 quarterback set as well with Ty Norris and Kyler Siebert. Those two will continue to do that. Both kind of give a little little different look, and it gives you the defense for the opposing team a little something extra to look at as well. And so we'll see how that continues to work itself out. We're going to talk to both head coaches. We'll hear to the head coach of the Riverton Rams, Johnny Mallett, here in just a moment. Also hear from the head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. All that much more still to come, as well as your keys to game, starting lineups, and of course that opening kickoff. Hear from Frank Jameson Field, beautiful Girard, Kansas. Remember, Girard Sports Live is presented by Crocan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit, get gigabit. They get fast internet in Southeast Kansas, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything at Crocan has to offer at ckt.net. Of course, we are in the middle of the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. Community National Bank and Trust community has been serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Learn more at mybankcnb.com. We'll hear from the head coach of the Riverton Rams, Johnny Mallett, next on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. You're listening.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about their e-Power checking, mobile banking, and bill pay, and new Guardian Secure checking. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, and a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans!
Crocan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in Southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Good luck, Trojans, from your friends at Crocan. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Wing T series in yet. We just had our Buck Sweep series in place, and defensively, new defense also for the kids, but they're learning, they're picking it up. We're still playing a lot of young kids, but we're going to get better. We're getting better every day in practice, so that's all I can ask of them.
And Coach, what's it like for you? You kind of were a big part of the turnaround as a head coach at Galena in the mid to early 2000s there. You've been a head coach, obviously, at Riverton in the past. You've been around for a long time. How much has this league maybe changed from the time that you were at Riverton in the 1980s?
Let me tell you.
Until now. Not even then. I mean, even when you were at Galena,
right.
10 years ago.
It used to be a predominantly 3A league, years ago. And, that complexion's changed. We had the old Northeast and Erie and us and Southeast all in the conference, we had the powerhouses up north there with Colgan and Frontenac and Girard. But since Columbus came in, that's changed the complexion of it. But as far as the competitive part of it, Erie left and Northeast left, Southeast is leaving. And that kind of leaves us as that small team there, left in the league. And, but we're hoping for the reclassification. If Riverton can go 2A, I think we have an opportunity to start building the program back like it needs to be, So, but no, the CNC, boy, it's really changed since in the last 15, 20 years.
Well, we've obviously seen Riverton have some powerhouses, whether it was the 80s, the 90s, even 2000. Not too long ago, they're playing in, I guess about 10 years ago, they're playing in a state semifinal against Silver Lake with a loaded cast of players. But things can change as high schools can't recruit and numbers are very small. Not only at Riverton, across the state. I talked to 4A1 coaches, 4A2 coaches, sports in Kansas, even 5A coaches. It's hard to get a lot of football players out. What are your numbers like this year, and who are some of your key players?
I tell you what, last year I helped Coach Kenny there, and he was a good football man. And last year we started with 23 kids, and then that last game in Caney, when we were down in Caney, we had 16 healthy kids. And it's hard to compete at any level with 16 kids. And but this year, we had 30 on our roster to start, but we've had some injuries. We lost some kids the other night, and so we're still up to 7, 8 kids. But what the neat thing is, we haven't played JV around Riverton in a long time, and we were able to play Monday night. And that's where you start building your program with those JV games, And we played Columbus, and we got beat 15-6, but the old kids played hard. We had 13 kids on the sideline, and but we played, and we're going to continue to play JV as long as we can have 11 kids. We'll be out there.
Well, Coach Mallett, as always, we appreciate your time on ESPN 100.7. We'll catch up with you next week as well. Best of luck on the road against Girard.
Hey, appreciate what you do for all of us. Hey, thank you now.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Call's is a first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and noodles on Wednesdays, Thursday nights kids nights, and Friday boneless wings. Oh, and don't forget about those delicious homemade pies. Stop in or enjoy their mouth-watering favorites at home with carry-out and catering available. Chicken Annie's Girard, continuing a Southeast Kansas tradition. Learn more at chickenanniesgirard.com or call 620-724-4090.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the four-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
We were heading a turnover battle. We didn't have very many mistakes going in, penalties and things like that. It's our fair share of mistakes, but not the stupid ones you make in the first game. And then second half, you get a little tired, you get a little fatigued, and we started doing some of those things that kept us in the game in the first half. So, we got to clean some stuff up. And it's the first week. You look at make some strides between week 1 and week 2, and hope we can make some big strides, and I think we have a little bit this week. We've gone ahead and continue to work our stuff and do our things and get better at those things. And we'll have a good challenge this week, but it's always good to get the first one out of your way and see where you're at.
Yeah, talking a little bit. We talked in the postgame show a little bit about the inconsistencies, but when you were good, first on the offensive side of the ball, what was it that you could kind of point to that went right when things went right offensively?
We were able to throw and catch the ball. We threw and topped the ball and the easy stuff. We extended drives and made plays and did those things. And when we had simple drops, things like that, when the ball hit us or quarterback misses a simple throw, those are things that you got to have and count on. And if you're going to throw the ball a little bit, you got to be able to do it. And we'll get better at that. Those little things there. And we in the run game stuff, we missed on us, on double team here and there, or whatever it was. We might have missed coming off. And our guys now have seen that live action, that game speed level, and we got to work on making those adjustments. And this week going to practice, we've had our work team guys, young guys. They've given us pretty good looks. They're not backing down either. Our guys are competing, and I think we've got to continue to build on that and push forward with that.
Went back and forth between quarterbacks, between Kyler Siebert and Ty Norris, both kind of different and gave you a different look at times. What was your evaluation of them, and how do you look to proceed with the two quarterbacks on offense?
Yeah, they're a little bit different. Going in the game and talking to them, I was planning on playing them both, and they kind of do. They have their good days and bad days. They have their good things and bad things that they do a little bit differently from each other, so they complement each other fairly well. And really when you play two quarterbacks like that, I talked to them about, when you're not in, you need to be sitting back there and looking at it and reading the defense and looking at those things. And you kind of get a chance to see it without having to be in it. And I think they both learned from that a little bit, and that'll be an experience moving forward. And Ty threw the ball pretty well. He had a couple drops there, and Tyler had a couple drops that or penalties that got called back or the ball started. Tyler can throw it a little bit too. He just, he's playing on both sides of the ball quite a bit, and I can be the first one to tell you, you get tired. Sometimes your mechanics go out, and we haven't probably repped it enough to do some of those things. So we're going to continue to build on those things.
Defensively, the same thing, some inconsistency at times, but I thought up front, defensively, you kind of stalemated them at times. As you went back and reevaluated your defense, what did you think of their performance the other night?
Yeah, it was. Again, first half, second half a little bit. I think we got a little tired, and we were inconsistent at times. We did some things really well. We did some things poorly, a couple of frustrating things, or a couple of their big plays came off plays that we had reps and we knew were coming, and we got our eyes caught looking where they shouldn't have been, and they made plays, and they've got some good athletes and some good players, and they did some good things, but for us, we just gotta play together and do our job on each play and have some trust and have some faith in the other guys that they're going to do theirs and start to believe that. It's evident on film. You can watch it and see our guys, and we had a good film session this week and say, hey, look, this is where we got to be. This is where you got to do. This is how it fits. This is your part of it, and I think our guys are seeing that a little bit better maybe, and we'll continue to build off of it.
You mentioned also in the postgame a little bit about conditioning, and you've said it a few times here, got tired in that second half. It's tough to do in season, but what are some things you did this week to try to get those guys back ready to go for game shape so those cramps and that fatigue doesn't set in?
Yeah, it seems like no matter what the weather is, you're always going to get a few cramps that first game, adrenaline and everything else is going, but we both practice in a little bit some tempo stuff and also just pushing tempo practice. We build in some extra conditioning on some things at the end, and so we'll see where we're at. So again, we got a lot of guys playing both ways. I look around and say, hey, look, there's only 36 of us. We're gonna have to load it up and play, and we got to be able to be in shape. This isn't punishment. This isn't anything like that. This is getting prepared. So. I think our guys accepted that and understood that and embraced it a little bit. So hopefully we see some, and maybe in a couple of weeks we'll see it a little bit better. But hopefully we can be in good enough shape to compete for 4 quarters.
All right, you'll start that tonight against the Riverton Rams. Get to go back home. We get to go home for the first time this season as well. If you've gotten prepared for the Rams, what do you know of them? What do you expect of this ball game? What's it going to take to get the win?
They're going to be. They've got a new coach. They're learning a new system. They don't have a lot of kids out either. I don't know how many exactly they have, but they're learning, and they're just kind of a single-wing team. I mean, they're going to do that. And, you got to be disciplined. You got to be able to hit where you're supposed to hit, read your keys, going back to doing your job on each play, and fit where you need to, not getting lulled to sleep on some things. And, and they surely this week, they can add on to it and build in a little bit, few more wrinkles, and I'm sure they will. So, just got to be, I think we can be as physical as them, but we've got to do that. And, our guys have had, our scout team's given us good looks all week, and I think your guys will be ready to play on Friday night at home.
All right, Coach. We appreciate your time as always. Good luck tonight against the Rams.
Thank you very much.
Head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, joining us here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. We're going to step away, take a quick break. Still to come, we've got your keys to the game, starting lineups, opening kickoff from Frank Jameson Field in Girard. The Trojans, Rams coming up next right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
First National Bank of Girard is proud to be the oldest bank in Crawford County, serving the area since 1878. With 139 years of experience, it's no surprise First National Bank of Girard has such a great reputation for quality customer service. First National Bank of Girard is committed to providing the best quality products and services, including online banking and bill pay, loans, CDs, and more. Use the convenient drive-up window or come on in and see all of the friendly faces at First National Bank of Girard, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. G&W Foods is the one-stop shop for everything you need to feed the family. With a great selection of quality, fresh, and delicious foods, you're sure to find something to satisfy every appetite. With friendly and knowledgeable staff, the folks at G&W Foods can help you find what you need so you can get in, get out, and on your way with your day. Plus, don't forget G&W Foods for the great daily lunch specials. Open 7 days a week. Check out their weekly Facebook-only specials. The G&W Foods family super wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck.
When you're looking for Frigidaire innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Hydrix. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Frigidaire appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months.
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Back out here at Frank Jameson Field in beautiful Girard, Kansas, getting set for kickoff in this one. A CNC clash, a couple of old-time CNC foes. You heard Coach Mallett talking about that a little bit ago, and he's been in the league, in and out of the league for a long, long time. And he recognized, in fact, he mentioned the big schools up north. Yeah, he's in Riverton. He mentioned the big schools up north, Frontenac, Girard, the big powerhouse of St. Mary's Colgan. Yeah, so he talked about that. But we're getting ready. The guys are getting ready to run out on the field. You see that there on your video. They'll welcome in the Ramblers first. They will not be welcomed through that tunnel, I'm guessing. Be funny if they just decided to take a run at it, But
I think the fine crowd won't boo them, but
No, little sportsmanship here in Girard, Kansas. We've got plenty to get to still here in the pregame show, about 8 minutes away from kickoff. Look at your area matchups, brought to you by Bumper to Bumper of Girard, formerly Brenneman Auto Parts. Bumper to Bumper has been serving Girard area since 1935. Come in and talk with Willie if you're in the need for belts, Bosch brake pads, Wicks filters, Timekin bearings, and so much more. Bumper to Bumper, 101 East Prairie in Girard. Lots of good games going on. Of course, we've got this one elsewhere in the CNC. Baxter Springs is 1-0. They're going to be taking on Colgan 0-1. Baxter will be hosting that ball game. Baxter won 40-13 over Oswego. Colgan lost a week ago yesterday to Galena 16-0. Frontenac is at Galena. That's one of the premier matchups in the CNC. Frontenac 1-0, Galena 1-0. Girard obviously lost to Frontenac, and Galena beat that Colgan team. Columbus, and a non-conference ball game at Pawnee, Oklahoma. Columbus 48-0 winners over this Riverton team. In the SEK, Lebec County in a non-conference ball game. They'll be playing Andale. Both teams 1-0. Lebec County just drubbed Fredonia 69-6 in their season opener. Chanute and Pittsburgh. That's one of the nice matchups in the area. Chanute is at Pittsburgh High. Pittsburgh, probably the biggest win, the biggest head turner here in the area last Friday night when they won the defending Class 4 team out of Missouri, Harrisonville. Class 4 in Kansas, that would be about a big 5A school. Harrisonville, but Pittsburgh getting off on a great foot, 1-0 with a 37-21 win. And Fort Scott's against Independence. Fort Scott 1-0 win over Parsons. Indy lost to Caney Valley 41-12. Caney Valley, a small school, playing Independence to get that win. And then Parsons is at Coffeyville in the SEK as well. A couple other matchups: Tri-Valley League, Cherryville at Humboldt. Neodesha is versus Oswego. Fredonia versus Douglas. Erie is taking on Leon Bluestem. Both teams over, and Erie got a good shot to get their first win of the year. And Caney taking on Olpe as well. That's a look around the area. Make sure you look for bumper to bumper in many of those towns I just mentioned. Time to get to our keys of the game with brought to you by Fort Scott Community College. With more than 40 fields of study, there is something for everyone at Fort Scott Community College. Students can take general education courses or complete an associate's degree or certificate. Visit fortscott.edu or call 620-223-2700 for more information. Lots of areas we talked about, Zach, in our open there about areas for improvement. Those are going to be definitely our keys to the game as well.
Yeah, for me, the keys to the game is get the offense going early. You know, they kind of got off moving the ball a little bit, and they just got stifled. In Frontenac just shut them down the rest of the game. That second half, it was just hard to get anything going. That leads to my second key, which is that got to keep that defense off the field. Get the ball, get something going, control the clock a little bit. You know, you got a lot of guys that play both ways, but, you know, you just need to get gassed out there on defense. So they got to get that defense off the field a little bit. Those are two big ones for me. And then tackle. They got to finish those plays and get those tackles made.
Yeah, it always comes down to some of those basic things, and running the football is so important in this particular offense with that big, experienced offensive line for the Trojans. You really expected them to be able to move that football a little bit better, but not really the case last week. Hopefully they'll be able to do that tonight here against the Riverton Rams. You see your captains out there taking the field. Those guys, Chandler Humble, number 55, number 64 is Wade Boatman. Up there is Kyler Siebert as well, along with Camden McFarland. And so those are your seniors. Some of your seniors, Chandler Humble actually a junior, so is Wade Boatman. The other two were seniors, and they're the captains for this team at the mock coin toss. They faked this. They've already done this, I think, earlier, but they fake it, and that's what's going to happen there. The Trojans won the toss, going to elect to defer. Rams are going to take the football, and they don't decide which way they're going to go, but that's your coin toss there. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting lineups brought to you by Pearls and Curls Boutique. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at Pearls and Curls Boutique, a favorite of Zach's for sure. A great new shabby chic boutique located next door to Sheer Expressions on the south side of the square in Girard. See all the new arrivals on Facebook / Pearls and Curls KS. Go pick yourself up a nice blouse there, Zach.
Hey, we're always excited to have new business here in Girard.
We are, and they are
welcome to those guys.
Going like gangbusters. Those two are at the Pearls and Curls Boutique. Starting quarterback for the Girard Trojans, Kyler Siebert, 6 foot, 184 pounds, senior. Also in there is Ty Norris for the Trojans. Starting running back for the Trojans, Cam McFarland, a 5'9", 156-pound senior as well. The other running back / wide receiver, he'll get some time there in the backfield, is Creed Curran, 5'11", 157, and a junior. At the wide receivers, Gage Shirtano, 5'10", 140, and a junior. The other wide receiver, Josiah Thomason, 6'1", and 170 pounds, a senior. And tight end / wide receiver, a lot of three wide out sets for Coach Phil Pat is number 36, Matt Saban, 6'2", 179 pounds, senior. Number up front for the Trojans, led by Wade Boatman, that junior captain, a 5'11", 251-pound junior. The guards are Chandler Humble. Chandler is 6'1", 196-pound junior, and Chase Bryant, 6'3", 260, a junior. And then the tackles, Carter Doherty, 6'4", 235, and Cole Cuthbertson, 5'10", 199, and a junior. So some youth on this team. Lots of juniors play for the Trojans, and we are about to get things underway here in this one. The Girard Trojans and the Riverton Rams. Trojans will be kicking from right to left. This east-west field, the sun setting to our far right. And we're about to get underway here in this one. Game 2 of the 2017 high school football season right here on Girard Sports Live. A low squib kick going to go between a couple of guys. A little miscommunication there by the Rams. Going to field all the way back to the 6-yard line. Left side return going to be bottled up and brought down right across the 15 up to maybe the 16, 17-yard line. It's a miscommunication between the two return men. Allowed that one to be covered up by the Trojans nicely. And so the Rams not going to have great field position as they start this one. That was number 15 on the return. Guy walking around out there with a club on his hand is Tucker Tash, 5'10", 160-pound junior. And so Trojans will come out now in this 4-4 defense to line up against this Riverton Rams team, who will run a little single wing action. The wing to the near side is Michael McCann, 5'10", 175. And then under center goes the quarterback. They'll turn handed first guy through, trying to break a few tackles. That is Gavin Gilmore. Bottled up nicely by the Trojans, making the tackle Chandler Humble on the stop, and to bring up a second down and about 8 for the Trojans.
Yeah, see there, they filled quick, ganged up, got them down on the ground, just like they need to do.
Really bottled things up right at the point of attack as well for the Trojans, and so now will bring up a second down and 8. One wide receiver to the far side. That is Tyler Larison. Under center goes the quarterback, Max Bonney. Bonney, turn, hand up, little bobbled up. The guy with the club again. Didn't quite get that one in his belly, but able to still get a few yards on it. Tucker Tash on the carry around the near side. It's going to bring up a third down and manageable here for the Rams. Bring up third down and 4 here just across the 20-yard line up near the 22, maybe 23-yard line. And Chandler Humble once again making that stop for the Trojans.
35 for the Rams from their own 24-yard line.
Under center once again goes the quarterback Bonnie. Bonnie going to hand up at the middle, nothing doing. Again, a quick hitter to that fullback right up inside, Gavin Gilmore. 6 foot 200, he's a low to sophomore, but nothing doing it. It's going to be a gain of about 3 on a needed 4 to pick it up. And they bring up a 4th down and 1 in a punting situation here for the Ramblers.
Yeah, this would be a big drive for these guys. Get the ball back early so they can do something, convert this, and get some points out of this.
Bonnie's the punter, going to stand beyond the 15-yard line. High snap, gets it down, though, and gets his right foot into it. It's going to be returnable for McFarland. Catches it at the 41-yard line. Into the return. He's got some open running room across the 50, across the 45, the 40, waiting for a blocker out in front of him. Makes a guy miss at the 35, the 30, 25, and knocked out of bounds just beyond the 25 up to the 21, maybe 22-yard line. A beautiful return by Camden McFarland. Again, return of about 35, maybe 40 yards on the pickup.
Man, you know, between Camden's moves there and a couple of great blocks up the field, that really opened up a lot. He was about 2 steps away from break that open.
Yeah, that was about a 30, right at about 40-yard return for Cam, all the way up to the 21-yard line, fielded at the 41. And so the Trojans obviously have excellent field position as they come out with one wide receiver to the near side. Tied into the near side as well is Saban. 2 wide receivers to the far side. Shotgun formation for Siebert. He'll send Curran in motion. Turn, handoff, Creed coming to the near side. He's got a block. He turns it up inside. Makes one guy miss and leaps over the other one. And he's going to be upended, but not before a great pickup of nearly 10 yards on that little end around from Curran. Tackle made on that play by number 24, Gavin Gilmore, guy we've already mentioned quite a few times. Easy to find with that club on his hand.
From the Riverton 14-yard line.
Excuse me, that's Tucker Tash with the club. Gilmore, that big body with the neck brace there.
He's stuck his nose in just about every play so far. We see how maybe he earned that club.
Yeah. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side is Thomason. Again, Curran in motion. Turn hand up McFarland. He's got the first down up near the 10-yard line. Good play up front for the Rams. Trojans maybe missed a guy that time. It was made by number 63, Chris McLaughlin. 5'9", 160-pound senior defensive tackle up there. Not a big guy, but got his nose stuck in there on that play. And the Trojans are knocking on the door here. 1st and 10. 1st and goal. Chains are down. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. 2 guys to the near side. In the slot is Curran. Thomas in the wideout. Curran in motion. Siebert going to turn, hand it off to him. Lost it, then bumped it out. And a good play. There he is again. 24. Gavin Gilmore in the backfield, a loss of about 4 on the play. That never really looked all that comfortable. And part of that was Curran had to bubble out a little bit. So that right side defensive tackle, I think, got booked in the backfield a little bit. And then he mishandled the ball a little bit, bobbled it. That threw him off his focus. And so a loss of 4 on the play to bring up a 2nd down and goal from the 14. 8:37 to play. 1st quarter, no score. Trojans with an opportunity here.
Yeah, that cost him about a half a step. You know, actually, it looks pretty lucky that he didn't lose the ball altogether. Managed to pull it back in and only lose the 4 yards.
3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Shotgun for Siebert. Wings it out there, nearly intercepted, but a good catch there and going to get back beyond the original line of scrimmage. I thought it was going to be intercepted. I think it was just over the hands of the defender, Gage Shirtano, 5'10", 140-pound junior with that reception. He gets the lost yardage plus a couple more. And a gain of 6 on the play to bring up a 3rd down and goal from about the 8-yard line. 8:01 to play and counting in this first quarter. Trojans come out, stop the Raiders, the Rams rather, force them to a 3-and-out in a punting situation. Then a 40-yard return on the punt by Cam McFarland got the Trojans down in here, and now they've got to convert on a 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line to try to get some points here. An inverted diamond. We call that a diamond set or inverted wishbone. Turns Siebert. Pitch outside. Kearney's wide open. Kearney's going to try to catch the pylon to the end zone. He doesn't stretch out there. You got to take a dive at that end zone. Create a little shake it up, I think, on that as well. But he's going to be out of bounds, and that's going to be a decision now for Coach Philpott and the Trojans. 4th and goal right at the goal line, and maybe at the 1 or 2 yard line. I thought he went out closer than that.
Boy, BJ, that was close. If he'd have cut in just a little bit, he might have been right there on the pylon.
Yeah, trying to run to that, and Creed's got to dive for that. You can stick that ball, the nose of the football over it. A good time. I think this is a great call by Coach Philpott to go for it early on in the ball game. If you don't get it, you're still going to pin the Riverton Rams deep. Siebert, shotgun, turn, high enough. Oh, Cam McFarland made the first guy miss. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. A 1-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. Gives the Trojans an early 6-0 lead.
Yeah, you got to love the way where he hit that first contact right behind the end zone and slid off to the left a little bit and just pushed it right through.
Cam McFarland on a 1-yard plunge. Now he'll line up to kick the PAT. Will McFarland. Ty Norris, the holder. Kick down. End over end kick is up and good. Trojans strike first. They go down the field. A good return by McFarland. He gets paid off, and it's a touchdown for Girard. Makes the score 6-0. 7:29 to play in this first quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Go down the field and get the first touchdown of the ball game. A 1-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland gives them the lead. 7-0 after his PAT was good as well. So Trojans march it down the field. He had a nice punt return as well to get them there. A 40-yard return on the punt return really gave them an opportunity. And so now the Trojans will have to go back on defense. Cam will line it up. Cam getting a lot of playing time for the Trojans. He is incredibly important for them. End over end kick, going to go deep and be fielded for the Rams. Fielded by McCann. McCann to the left side, bottled up, trying to get a little bit of something across the 25 up near the 26-yard line, and much better field position for the Rams this time. And that's where Riverton will start on this drive. They last time offensively, they did move the football, didn't have any negative plays, but didn't get that first down. And so the Trojan defense bottling them up in that first drive, and here we go for their second.
At their own 25-yard line.
Trojan D. Camera work by Josh Lettner tonight, doing a phenomenal job, bud. Keep it up. Quarterback go under center. That is Bonnie. Bonnie send a man in motion. Turn, handoff. That fullback again up in front is Gilmore. Nothing doing there. The Trojans all over it. No real stoppage that time. Guys coming up through everywhere. In there was Cole Cuthbertson, along with Chandler Humble, along with Ty Norris. Nope, not Ty Norris. Matt Saban in on that play.
Yeah, there wasn't so much as a seam, so much as a crack there. There was nothing but a wall. And then the wall fell over on him, so there was nothing doing.
That's a 2-yard loss, bringing up a 2nd down and 12 here for the Rams. Single wing back again, turn, handoff, end around, looking for McCann, nothing to do. Again, he's all over him. Carter Doherty stops his pressure, ships the football out as well, but they're going to say he was down by contact. They're going to say his forward progress was stopped. There's a quick whistle. Carter Doherty nearly a tackle for loss and a strip fumble. And again, it's going to be that tackle for loss, a 1-yard loss on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 13 here for the Rams. That was a heck of a play there by Carter Doherty. He is a very important player for the Trojans as well. 6'4", 235, big body,
Oh, he's big and he's strong. He's not afraid to hit. He'll put a guy on the ground for sure.
Trojans go to a 30 front. They bring a tackle out, and so have a 3-man down front because they know it's a passing situation. Here's a quarterback looking downfield. Lets it fly. He's got his man, but he's going to be short. I think if they get the spot correct on this, he's going to be short of the first down just barely. It'll be close, but it'll be up to the 35. You really need to get across the 35. And so it'll bring up a 4th down and short. I think if the Rams at this point, you maybe go for it here. You got to like the chances to be able to pick up about a half a yard on the play.
Right at the Trojans, right at the Ram, 35-yard line.
Yeah, so, Curran got tied up with him a little bit out of the 40-yard line and pushed on toward the sideline where he made the catch.
You got to the athleticism of Bonnie allowed him to get that play because he was going to be bottled up in the backfield, and he decides to scramble to the near side, kept the play alive, and here we go. 4th short. Rams trying to get it just across that 35-yard line. Bonnie will go under center, and a whistle's going to blow right before that. Penalty flag was game. It was. I think it was a delay of game on the Rams. That is a tough break against them. They were just about to snap it. And so instead of 4th and short, now you punt it.
Yeah, now you got to punt it away.
Well, those are the kind of mistakes you make when you're a struggling football team and just a lack of awareness there. Maybe quarterback Bonnie, he's a experienced guy. I think he was a quarterback a year ago as well and played some quarterback a year ago. A 5'11", 155-pound senior, but definitely going to punt the football away, and he'll be the guy to do that. Trojans will run their defense off in a hurry and get their punt coverage team or punt return team on there. Cam McFarland again stands with his feet at the 40. Trojans had a shot in a long return last time. This one, Bonnie going to kick away from Cam and going to be well played. Get away from the football, and they will. And this time it's a little better for the Rams, and so the Trojans are quite as good a field position this time as they did last time. And so they will start 1st and 10 from the Trojans' own 33-yard line.
You know, that was a great series by the Trojan defense there. They got a little bit of help from that penalty. Not too bad of a position for the offense. And let's see if they can follow up that last drive.
So that's where the Trojans, 5:49 to play, first quarter. Trojans up 7-0, went down on their opening drive of the ball game and scored. They were really close. This time they'll have to work for it a little bit. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. That's Thomason. Shotgun formation for Siebert. Right behind him is McFarland. They'll turn, hand off Cam, trying to get through one guy, breaking off one tackle. Finally brought down there by the Rams. Tackle made by Michael McCann. But it's still a nice gain, 1st down of 4 yards, and bring up a 2nd down at 6.
Hey, you know, that's one thing you got to love about McFarland. He's not a huge guy, but he doesn't stop at first contact. There's always a 2nd push, a 3rd push. His legs are moving until he's on the ground.
2nd down and about 6 for the Trojans. 5:22 to play in the first quarter. 1 wide receiver to the near side. Gage Shirtano. In the slot is Curran to the near side. He'll go in motion. 2 men to the backfield. Turn, going to keep it himself. Siebert breaks off. Nope, didn't break the first guy. Coming in from another. Coming from that downside, number 22 for the Rams. Big body in there, Ethan Sauver. 5'6", 185-pound sophomore. Coming there to make the play. He has got a lot stacked inside that frame.
Yeah, he got off his block quick there and was right on top of him as soon as he come through the line.
And so, they had to bring up a 3rd and 4, 3 to the line, 2 to the near. 5 wide out set here for the Trojans. Empty backfield for Siebert. He looked down. He's got his man Shirtano in the open field, the 50. Breaks a tackle across the 50, up near the 47-yard line. It's a big conversion of about 14 yards. A 14-yard pickup there by Shirtano on the pitching from Kyler Siebert. So you go for his, tell the defense, we're going to throw it on you. Be ready. A injured on play as well. And so that'll stop the clock with 4:29 to play in this first quarter. Trojans up 7-0. And so the injured player is a big fellow that was in some plays early on for the Rams, Gavin Gilmore. I'm guessing he's important to their success, and so him being injured is not ideal. Now the Rams go to the sideline. Did they call timeout? They're allowing them to have, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe there is a timeout on the field. They must have called injury timeout when he went there and then got up and ran off the field. We'll just go keep it right here, I guess.
You know, talking about injuries, Will Razdick is walking around the sideline. He's got his shoulder on. Took a little bit of injury in practice. I'm not sure how long he's looking to be in that, but I believe it's shoulder injury. He played last week against Frontex, who does the Trojans offense in this game.
Yeah, Will's one of those guys who came back to play football, wanted to play Coach Philpott, and was going to be a factor, defensive end, tight end as well, and yeah, not good to see on the sidelines in his street clothes. Trojans will get it squared away after the first down pickup. 14-yard pick catch from Seaver. Curran in motion once again. Here's Seaver. He's going to give it through Cam McFarland. He's got the running room at the 40, 35 to 30, still on his feet at the 25 to 20. The 15 still going. He knocked it out of bounds beyond the 10-yard line. Inside there, it's a huge run by McFarland. And he's down all the way inside there. Another big pickup of about 38 yards on the carry by Cam McFarland down to the 9-yard line. And so from the 46 down to the 9, it's a 37-yard pickup by Cam McFarland. And another big gainer for him on the door. First and goal at the 9. Seaver turn handoff. Curran's got some blockers out in front of him. A 5, touchdown, Trojans. Creed Curran on the 9-yard run by Curran.
Well, Curran really got some great block on the touch. Didn't even get a hand on him until they after into the end zone.
And the Trojans have knocked and then went through that door. A 9-yard touchdown by Curran. Trojans. Now here's McFarland to try to add one more. Bring up and through. They'll make it 14-0. 4:04 to play in the first quarter. Trojans off to a great start. In 30 seconds, you're listening to Girard Ball on Girard Sports Live.
When you're looking for Frigidaire innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Hydrix. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Frigidaire appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months.
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrick and Girard.
In Girard, the Trojans strike again, add to their lead. And now they lead it 14-0 here in this first quarter. 4:04 to play in the first quarter. Man, and immediately brought down and then loses the football. They're going to say it was a catch. They will. Pass as caught by Ash. It's a gain of about 3 on the pitch and catch. So a 3-yard gain for the Rams.
That was an odd happening there. Not something you see very often.
Not ever in my career.
Playing on half of the field.
Yeah. Trojans come out, same offense, 2 wide receiver to the far side, 2 to the near side. In motion goes Curran. He scored the last touchdown. He'll get this one. No. Siebert keeps it himself. Well read there. Nice drive up in the middle. And that's what's great when you have some success on that end around, which they did a while ago. They have it here. No keeps it and makes a, Siebert keeps it, runs it right up the middle, brings up a 2nd down and 5 here for the Trojans. As another pass, throws it out, again intended for Saban.
Yeah, Saban didn't get his head turned around. A little bit of miscommunication there.
Yep, those two will talk about it a little bit out there, just trying to discuss what they need to be doing. It hit him. I mean, it was put in the right spot because Siebert actually hit him with the football, but just not caught. And unfortunately, it's
hit him right around the knees, right as he was turning around. So somebody didn't quite get the timing on that play.
Trojans trying to convert on a 4th down here. 4th and 5 at the 30. Siebert again, same exact play. We'll talk about some guts there from Coach Philpott.
Man.
On 4th and 5, he went back and ran the exact same play to the exact same player from the same quarterback as well. Put it right on him, well executed. I guess he thought the same thing I did. If you hit him with the football, he must have been open.
He was wide open.
And he was, twice.
Hey, that's going to help build the kids' confidence too. Didn't play last year, come back, got some game time last week, come out here, make a little bit of a mistake there maybe, and give him a chance to follow up and make it right. That's great to see out of these guys.
1st down and 10. Trojans moving up into the 25-yard line. Handoff McFarland. Trying to make one guy miss, he does. Trying to make another one miss. McCann can't make the tackle. McCann can't, and he gets across the 20-yard line up near the 17 maybe, and brought down. Another good run on 1st down by Cam McFarland. He picks up 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a Second down and 2 for the Trojans. 24 seconds to play in the first quarter. Trojans do not need to run another play here in the first quarter. If they do not want to, they've got a 14-0 lead in this ball game. And so they will go ahead and run it. Why not? Not in a hurry. Second down and 10. Siebert, shotgun. He'll send a man in motion. Turn, handoff, keep it himself. Siebert, kick it outside. Ball's loose on the ground. Got to pick it up. No, he doesn't. You don't try to advance it. I think the Trojans are going to get away with one. Siebert came in late and jumped on top of that ball. Trojans are incredibly lucky to maintain possession of that one. Trying to run that same play. Curran had been that guy to get it a couple of times. Colton Kirby comes in, 5'6", 145 at a junior. And the Trojans do not end the drive the way they would like to, end the quarter the way they like to, but it's still a good one as they lead by 14, 12. Here as the one quarter in the books. We'll come back and talk more about it here and get ready to go for your second quarter. In a minute, you're listening to Girard Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
First National Bank of Girard is proud to be the oldest bank in Crawford County, serving the area since 1878. With 139 years of experience, it's no surprise First National Bank of Girard has such a great reputation for quality customer service. First National Bank of Girard is committed to providing the best quality products and services, including online banking and bill pay, loans, CDs, and more. Use the convenient drive-up window or come on in and see all of the friendly faces at First National Bank of Girard, a proud supporter of Trojan athletics.
Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Quarter. Moving from left to right now as they flip it. Siebert going to roll out and throw it out. He's got his man. He's got enough for another first down on a 3rd and 14. Him and Shirtano have found each other a couple of times. 5'10", 140-pound junior. So many juniors on this team. These guys are having so much varsity experience by this time next year that it's got a good game across the 15 up to the 12-yard line. So Trojans first down and 10 from the 12. Minute 49 to play in the first half. Trojans leading by 14, trying to add another one. Handoff McFarland, well blocked up front, right behind the block of the big fella, and good hard tackle by the Rams, but not before a good pickup by Cam McFarland. McCann got that tackle, I believe, for the Rams, but it's still a 7-yard gain. And what a good block up front. Cole Cuthbertson, 5'10", 199-pound junior, leading the way up there in the middle. And
got him and he hit him hard, but it definitely wasn't after a substantial gain.
Yeah, 8-yard pickup there by Cam, and Trojans again knocking on the door. 14-0, 11-11 to play in this first half. Just the start of this second quarter. Trojans have scored on every possession they've had it, and a timeout going to be taken by Coach Philpott. Timeout on the field. We'll go ahead and take it with them. Trojans knocking on the door. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard High School Football on Girard Sports Live.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Girard Sports Live.
Trying to get in the end zone. Turn, handoff, Curran picking his way. Again at the 5, to go to the end zone, up and nearly into the end zone. And he is! Touchdown, Trojans! End over end, and got in the end zone. Good there by Josh to get that one, but that
Rams number 9, Max Boney out there. He did everything he could to try to with the last second tackle, got him up in the air, upended him, but it just wasn't quite enough.
An 8-yard touchdown run by Creed Curran. And Trojans up by 20 now, and the PAT up and good. Cam is perfect on the point after attempts, and the Trojans are on offensive drives as they knock in another and lead it 21-0, 54 to play in the first half. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to football on Girard Sports Live.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Take it down the field once again. That really good field position that drive. At Riverton 36-yard line, capped off on an 8-yard touchdown run by Creed Curran. 10:54 to play in this. For the Trojans have scored on all 3 drives. Moment. Wade Boatman going to kick this one away. Get that big body behind that big. He has a good end-over-end kick. Drive back 11-yard, another return by McCann. Bounce outside and good open field tackle coming back from behind side. Field made that play for the Trojans. Tracking him down. Chandler down the field. Who else? Get that play. And Chandler from the defense. He played down to the defense spot. I think spot for Chandler player, and it gives him an opportunity to get in on that deep line spot.
Yeah, definitely slot and move and make those tackles and big hits. You know, that kills hard worker, real strong in the weight room. Hear a lot of talk about how much steel that guy can throw around, and definitely gets a chance to show it. And
turn or the kickoff team, so a legal procedure. It was the call. Rams, but they felt turned at the. That's strange, but they will decline the penalty, and that will put their drive to start at their own. Well, start at their own 28-yard line. Under center goes Bonnie. He'll turn it off. Coming to the near side. Well played. Very well played from the near side. Outside linebacker on that play. Listen, all over it. He didn't get bit on inside on that first dive interior and stayed where he needed to be and limited that to a very short gain, maybe a half yard. We'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Rams.
you know, pregame, BJ, we talked about Finnan making the. Definitely starting to see that. Guys are making that initial contact, and they're not getting yards after it. And that's what we were hoping to see tonight.
Money under center turn. Going to run a little trick play there, and nothing to it. Ripped down to the backfield. Going to be a penalty against the Trojans. Clay Udock was all over that one, but they got the face mask of the player for the Rams. He got the face mask of number 10, Tash. That's going to be the first down of the ball game on the penalty by the Trojans. And so the Rams will actually pick up a first down now and get the ball down beyond the 40-yard line. So that's the best play of the game so far is the face mask by Clay Udock. 10:05 to play in this first half. 21-0 your score, Trojans all over the Riverton Rams.
Udock. Make an impact on this defensive squad.
Rams have had nothing. What's Clay going to do? Going to bounce right. That penalty. Chandler Humble along with him. Kyler Siebert in there. Those big guys, when they're playing well, Carter Doherty, Chandler Humble, Clay troubles. Coming off the field is Joseph Dixon as well, getting make time 6'2", Some big bodies, no doubt about it. Down at 15 for the Rams. Bonnie under center. Turn, fake the handoff, bundled up. Chandler Humble is already having himself a ball by him. No doubt about it. And they are driving the Rams back here. 9-minute mark of this first half. 21-0 your score is on top. Rams trying to get something positive going. They did pick up their first down. But that was another loss of 3 on that one. And so Bonnie will go under center. One wing to the far side. He'll go in motion. That's the case. To the near side, Bonnie flushed. Let it fly. It's nearly intercepted in and out of the hands of Thomason. And then nearly diving underneath that was Ty Norris, but it falls incomplete.
BJ, I think that was one of those where it was such an easy catch. You just thinking about taking off before you got it into your hands.
Him and Matt Sieben both were right there. Maybe they just had a discussion about who should be the one to catch it. But it's going to be a punting situation on the fourth punt of the ball game. It stands just beyond 40, nearly blocked. It's going to be a nice line drive kick, though. Going to take a Riverton roll and get down inside the 30. Roll out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. And so with 8:30 to play, the Trojans will take over at their own 27-yard line here with 8:30 to play in the second quarter. Up 21-0. Here are the Riverton Rams. Trojans again fell last week 33-6 at Frontenac. A very good Frontenac team. A Frontenac team that I'm not sure if they found their entire identity yet, but they are a team that will have a against the Bulldogs. Will try to get you some scores at halftime as well.
That Raider team, you could almost start a jealousy last week.
They did. They came a long way in a short period of time. The Trojans are doing here tonight. Shotgun for Siebert. Turn. Handoff. Nope, kept it himself. Oh, that's Ty Norris who's into the ball game on 1st and 10 across the 35 up near the 37-yard line. Maybe a gain of 9 on the play by Norris. His first carry of the ball game is a good one. And again, the Trojans go to a quarterback setup.
And they sold that fake really well. Then Norris comes around with a couple of nice spin moves, just keeps adding yards. Almost picks up the first down.
But 2nd down and 1 is one of those plays, one of those situations. You know, Coach, for a lot of plays he'd like to run on 2nd down and 1. He'll have 2 wide receivers on the far side. Tied in near side is Saban. 2 men in the backfield. Curran and McFarland. Curran's going to come out and try to get the lead block. McFarland makes one guy miss. Turns the corner. He's got the first down across the 40. Knocked it bounds at the 48-yard line. Good play downfield on the tackle for the Rams by number 21, Tyler Larison, along with Ethan Sauver. And it's going to be a first down, though, nonetheless, for the Trojans. Another good gain for Cam. Across the 45 up near the 47-yard line.
You know, BJ, they got to be real happy with the way they're moving the ball, but they also had a nice mix of in this last 10 minutes or so between rush and passing the ball.
2 wide receivers to the far side. Tied in is Saban to the far side as well. 1 wide receiver near side, that's Thomason. And McFarland in the backfield, get a good block up front, makes one guy miss, and then up-ended again. Ooh, that is a dangerous one for Cam. He's going to bounce right back up. He came down right on his helmet, and Cam just shot right back up. That was scary for a moment. And we've seen some guys. I'll tell you what, give the Rams some credit. Obviously, they've learned a little bit tackling because they're hitting low because we've seen more feet overhead than you'd care to see in a ball game. But even on the successful plays, you kind of chalk them up defensively for the Rams. The Trojans are picking up 5-6 yards. That was another 6-yard carry by Camden. And they bring up a 2nd down and 5, 2nd down and 4 here for the Rams, or the Trojans, rather. 7:12 to play in this first half. Trojans lead it 21-0. In the slot to the far side, Curran. Thomason to the far out. Shirtano, the wide receiver, to the near side. Wing back is Saban. Turn, handoff McFarland. Nope, going to keep it. Siebert lets it fly. That's Ty Norris, rather. Got Thomason down the field. And Shirtano, not sure who that was to. One of the 2 of them. Some pressure was starting to come in on Norris as well. And so it will.
It kind of rushed that throw a little bit, got a little bit wobbly. I don't think it went as far as he wanted, but it was close. It was a close play.
Brings up a 3rd down and 4 for the Trojans. 6:54, the clock stopped. 21-0. Don't forget to stick around. We'll have halftime. We'll have the Girard National Bank halftime show. Look at your halftime numbers. Zach's been over here keeping some numbers. I see them. I don't know exactly what they mean, but he's got them on a spreadsheet. It's pretty fancy. Here's Norris. Turn, fire, too high. Just a bit outside for Thomason. And now the Trojans, another decision to make. You feel pretty good about your defense here, how well they played in this first half. And so I would suspect they'll go for it on fourth down because the defense has been so staunch. Brings up a fourth down for the Trojans, 4th and 4. 6:50 to play in the first half. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Shotgun for Norris. To his right, just in front of him, is Cam McFarland. Straight drop. Plenty of time. Lets it fly. Had his man just behind him. That was going to be a first down intended for Thomas, and nothing he could do about it. Norris just missed him and just threw it a bit out.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting the feeling that maybe this defense coming out with trying to prove something after last week.
No doubt about it. Right on top of him that time, and nice elusive play, and that's a great example, if you're watching this, kids, of catch the ball first, then run. I mean, that is classic. Thought he was going to catch it, had a big play. Matt Teal, 6'2", 170, and a junior, was definitely going to make a nice play, but then he decided to run before he caught it, and a mistake there by the Rams, and would have been the biggest play they've had so far from scrimmage. Instead, it brings up a fourth down and about 16 in a punting situation here, as Abani will line up just beyond the 30-yard line. High snap, he's going to track it down. He'll put a right foot into it. Short kick, Trojans got to be aware of that and get away from it. And it goes out of bounds, and that will be another excellent field position for the Rams. Rams have punted every possession. Trojans had their first offensive, no success on their first offensive drive of the ball game here in that last one where they turned it over on downs. And so now they'll have a chance. Inside out is Saban, Curran, Shirtano. Shotgun for Norris, rolling to the near side. Steps up, lets it fly. He's got his man Saban. He can't make the catch. In and out of his hands. Another well-executed pass play, but it falls short for the Trojans. It'll bring up a third down and long for Girard from their own 44-yard line.
And number 5, Michael McCann from Riverton, right on him, had him wrapped up. He wasn't going anywhere even if he did catch that ball.
Would have been a good pickup and still giving them a better opportunity here on third down, but third and long, Trojans are going to have a big play here, try to avoid giving it up on their second straight offensive drive. 4:33. You want to end a half strong. They didn't. He certainly did start the half strong, but you got to end it strong here. 5 wide receivers here for Norris. Shotgun. Looking downfield. Trojans got to give him some time. He does. He puts his arm behind it. Got a man. Intercepted. Intercepted in the middle field. That's McCann on the right side return. Down across the 50 and brought down. Trojans. Chandler Humble tracked him down, but not before it was an interception. And a good return all the way up near the 50-yard line. And so the Rams are going to have really good field position again.
You bring up momentum going into halftime, and that is definitely not the way to keep that going.
Yeah. McCann picked up the first turn of the ball game. 4:22 to play in the half. Rams will see if they can take advantage of this momentum here with 1st and 10 right at midfield at the 50. 21-0 your score. Trojans on top.
You know, you start to wonder if maybe they're trying to open up the playbook a little bit, got a little bit of a lead. Maybe he's trying to bring out some stuff that they maybe haven't worked on as much in practice and maybe give it a real speed, game time opportunity to do that.
Here's Bonnie getting flushed, sacked, brought down. What number is that? 55. Chandler Humble. Right now, the Rams having a hard time blocking 55. They are having a heck of a time trying to block 55, and that is going backwards again for the Rams. Trojans need to stop here to get the ball back here before halftime, give themselves an opportunity. Really where that last offensive drive stalled was just going backwards early on the penalty. Everything starts on first down. It's a heck of a way to do it. Start at the beginning. That's what I always say. And on 1st and 15 is not as good, and that's where they ended 3rd and long, put themselves in that situation. Here's Bonnie, 2 hands it, fakes it to 2 guys, lets it fly. It's intended for Gilmore. Can't make the catch, and it'll bring up a third down. And here's the Rams maybe overthinking things a little bit themselves. They've had some success at times running to that wing and running straight up the gut. Not as much as they would have liked, but now that stops the clock, gives the Trojans more opportunity. 3:37 to play in this first half. 21-0 your score. It'll make halftime show coming your way in just a little bit. Trojans will go to a 3-man front, 3-4. They call it their 30 on 3rd and long. Bonnie, roll out, They get the end. He's got some green in front of him, and see if he pulls it down. He does. And he's just trying to get back the original line of scrimmage. Good pressure down the field. Clay Udok tracking him down along with Kyler Siebert. Ty Norris in there to make that play for the Trojans.
There were a couple Rams in there with a couple of nice blocks. Number 22 put somebody on the ground. Number 24 put somebody on the ground. Those guys were working hard. They did everything they could to try to spring him.
Yeah, Ethan Shaver and Gavin Gilmore, two guys we've talked a lot about tonight. Certainly a factor. They need to play well for the Rams, but right now the Rams are a little overmatched. And to bring up a 4th down and 8 here for Riverton. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Bonnie going to line up. 7 seconds on the play clock. They'll get it to him. He'll get a wicked googly of a kick, and Cam just going to be lucky to get this one. I hope like heck it falls into to him. They do. Ooh. You got to stop it and stay out of bounds, out of the end zone. You can't take the football with you into the end zone.
Yeah, that's a little questionable. Looked more like a fumble recovery there, BJ.
Ooh, I'm not sure if that's going to work, but it should be out to the 20, but that'd take it at the 1 yard line, and so the Trojans are going to have a long way to go, 99 yards in fact. But another punt by the Riverton Rams. They'll put the Trojans 1st and 10 from their own 1. Not ideal.
No, not ideal.
Girard will have it. They'll come out. Wide receiver to the far side, Thomason. Tight end near side, Saban. 3 men to the backfield. At center goes Kyler Siebert. Hard count. Who came first? I wouldn't be too worried about that if I'm Chase Bryant. That's going to be a loss of a half yard.
About a 4-inch loss there.
Yep, about a 4-inch loss. If you're ever going to jump off sides, that's the place to do it. 2:42 to play, a long way to go for 2:42. Welcome back out here, everyone, to Frank Jameson Field in Girard, Kansas. B.J. Harris alongside Zach Adams. Josh Lettner on camera as we are here. Just started the second half, about 9 seconds into this second half. Did have an injured Rambler over on that far sideline. The Trojans had a good return out and started this drive at about the 20-yard line, picked up a first down on the first play, and now they have it first down and 10 just across the 30 at the 33-yard line, and so the Trojans will have it there. We had to restart some stuff to try to make sure it all looked good for you. Feeling pretty good about it now. Kyler Siebert in at quarterback. Turn handoff. Creed Curran got a big gash on the far side across the 30. At the 40, the 35. Turns it upfield. Makes one guy miss it. 45 and now brought down about the 46-yard line. It's a great run by Creed Curran. Again, a 15 yards there by Creed. And it will bring up a first down and 10 for the Trojans with 11:41 to go here in this third quarter. Trojans leading at 21-0 here over the Riverton Rams in this third quarter. And the Trojans off to a great start. Had stalled out just a little bit in the second part of the first half.
Yeah, that's the second first down in a row. The first one was a 17-yard run by Kyler Siebert.
Yeah, so the Trojans picking them up in a hurry right now. 21-0 your score. 1st and 10 for the Trojans just across the 45 to the 47-yard line. One man in the backfield is McFarland. He's going to get it. Good block off the far side. Out across the 50. Now at the 45, the 40. Down the sideline, 45. And a penalty flag going to come flying in there. It's going to be against the Trojans most likely. And it will probably bring the Trojans back from that spot. It was another good run by Camden, but brings it back. I don't know who is downfield. Shirtano was downfield along with Chandler Humble, were the two guys out in front. I didn't see the hold, but tough break there against the Trojans, and it will bring up we'll see how they mark it. It should be a spot foul. The flag sits there at the 38-yard line, and so they'll mark it back from that. So still going to end up being a decent gain, but they'll mark 10 yards from the 38 back to the 48. And so the Trojans will call it officially a pickup of 6 on the play, pickup of 5 on the play.
Yeah, you hate to see him lose that big chunk of yardage there, especially on something that wasn't obvious enough that we could pick it out from up here.
Officially a 4-yard pickup by Cam McFarland on that one. And it'll bring up a first down and 6 for the Trojans. 11:05 and counting in this third quarter. Saban lined up as a bit of a wingback, sticks right behind that tackle, Carter Doherty. Now he'll step up and put a hand on the ground as a tight end. One wide receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side. Shotgun for Siebert. Turn, handoff McFarland. Guy getting by there. Try to turn it up there. Missed opportunity there. The Trojans, Chase Bryant on this near side. I think he was just a little bit confused about who his guy was, and the guy he was number 80, and he comes in there to make the tackle. And so no gain on the play. Maybe a gain of 1 on the carry there by Cam McFarland, but it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5 with a minute, 10:30 to play, here in this third quarter.
You could kind of see as they were getting set, they were getting some stuff yelled in from the sideline. Everybody's heads kind of turning back and forth. Maybe they weren't quite sure what was going on. A little bit of a miscue there.
2nd down and 5, though, for the Trojans. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. High snap. Siebert does get into the belly. McFarland's got some running room. Got to make a guy miss across the 45. Going to fight forward for the first down. Boy, he was going to be stopped shy. It was a hard tackle there by the Rams, but good effort by Cam McFarland to fight forward to get that first down. It'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the 43-yard line.
There you go. That's that 2nd, 3rd, 4th effort to go ahead and push a little bit harder get that first down, move the chains.
10:03. They'll rewind it. Trojans trying to score on their opening drive. They scored on their first 3 drives of the ball game, but have stalled out slightly here of late offensively. Right now, putting together a pretty good drive that started at their own 20-yard line. And now, right now, at the Ram 43-yard line. Turn, going to read it. Siebert, kick it outside for Curran, cutting it back against the grain, and Creed just nothing doing. Good open field tackle. That's Shaver. And no gain on the play to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
A little bit of misdirection here, a little bit of left, a little bit of right. Defense sniffed it out, played their spots, held on, and got them down.
9:28 to play in the third quarter. Trojans opening drive of the second half. They won the toss, and so they elected to defer, and that's why they get to start this second half. Moving from left to right. I don't have to say that. It's TV. Radio, you tell them left to right. You clearly can see that it's left to right. Unless you're standing on your head, then it's right to left. Turn, Siebert, going to roll to the near side. Going to keep it himself. Good read by Kyler. Across the 40, up across the 35, knocked down about the 33, 34-yard line. Another good gain there of about 8 yards by Kyler Siebert to bring up a 3rd down and 1 for the Trojans. Another very good opportunity here. And a good drive that's taken up 3 minutes of this third quarter so far. Official timeout. They're going to bring the chains out. I can clearly tell that's not, I don't think that's there. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's see. Josh, get in on that. Challenge. You tell us that's going to be first down before they tell us.
You got to like how they came out intense, ready to play again. What do you think they heard from the coach there at halftime, BJ?
Well, I guarantee there was some discussion about the fact that they waned a little bit in that first, the later parts of that first half. Looks like he might have got it. Just the nose of the football, perhaps. It's close. You got to get down there and eyeball it. They're going to say short. See how I grabbed that link of that chain? It's going to be just short. Top-notch work there, cameraman. They're going to move it out there, so it's going to be 3rd and very, very short. Probably be 2 or 3 links of the chain. But, yeah, certainly I think there was some discussion about, hey, good start to the ball game. Obviously, you guys have come out and they focused to start this game. 3 straight scoring drives. Defensively, there couldn't have been a lot of adjustments to be made in that first half defensively. But offensively, I think a little focus lost, and certainly catch the ball. If you're the wide receivers, that was certainly an issue at times in that first half. Here come the Trojans, 3rd down and very short. 9:01 to play in the third quarter. Now the officials will stop the clock once again. Clock hadn't started. I guess they didn't need to stop it. Got to get in position. They do.
Yeah, I'm sure the receivers heard a little bit about those drop passes. By count, I counted at least 4. I don't know what the yardage total that would have been, but it definitely would have made a difference. 3rd and short, going to take a shot down the field, and nothing doing. That's a couple of guys running opposite post plays, Shirtano and Thomason. And so on 3rd and less than a yard, Coach Philpott, how confident is he that he can get a yard if he needs it, that he decides to throw it on a 3rd and short. And so now to bring up a 4th down and short, the Trojans, I suspect Siebert will get up under center. And back in the day when Coach Philpott was a quarterback, these were no-brainers. 6'4", 240-pound quarterback, get up under center. You were guaranteed to get a first down almost every time. And they won't do that, though. They're going to go to a shotgun here on 4th down and very short. And that inverted wishbone or diamond set. Shotgun for Siebert, turn, handoff McFarland. He's got the first down, but just barely. Maybe a little bit of, a little too much thinking perhaps on those couple of plays. Cam kind of slipped as well as he made his cut, and he gets up a little bit wobbly there. Trying to shake it off. Such a critical player for this Trojan team, both offensively and defensively, and Cam made a little cut. Cam had a knee injury a year ago that cost him his playoff run for this team as a junior, and certainly don't want to see anything like that happen again to that good young man. Yeah, Kirby comes in and going to get him out of there and spell him let him shake it off a little bit.
Yeah, Kirby will go to that slot. So Kirby basically replaces Creed Curran where he has, and Creed replaces Cam where he was, and goes to that wide receiver or that running back spot. Creed's going to get a good run, put his foot in the ground at the 30, got back against the grain at the 20. Another good run by Creed Curran. He'll roll forward, and Creed a gain of about 14 yards on first down and 10. 14 for Creed. And that will take him inside the 20-yard line up near the 17. The Trojans marching once again. Creed's already got 2 touchdowns in this ball game.
Yeah.
And
he did a great job there going out to that outside and saw a little bit of seam, cut right back in, hit that hole, and just exploded into it.
Yeah, he stuck that foot in the ground and made the cut. And got up inside, and player's going to come off the sidelines, and not a good sign there for the Rams. That's that guy's already got a hand taped up at 15. We talked about him earlier. He came in. He's caught the ball with that thing. Tucker Tash, 5'10", 160-pound junior, but
yeah, he's really coming out of there slow.
The Trojans get a first down on the 13-yard pickup by Creed Curran. We'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 17. 2 wide receivers far side. 1 to the near side's Thomason. Running back is Curran. Quarterback is Siebert. Tight end far side Saban. Turn, handoff. Creed. Got some open running room at the 15. At the 10. Puts a head down. Ooh, rip down hard on that one. Creed, he's going to get up. That was a hard tackle. I'm guessing that was Gilmore coming over there.
From up high. Just put it flat
that
on
wasn't
his
a
back.
horse collar of some sort, but it was a hard tackle, but still a 9-yard pickup by Creed. And Creed's really having a really good ball game for the Trojans. Him and Cam McFarland carrying the weight in the running game.
That's a penalty in rugby.
Yeah, penalty in rugby.
Penalty. I
That's
didn't
good.
think rugby had penalties.
Yeah, I didn't think that.
You know it's dirty. Yeah, man.
2-yard, second down and 1 is the situation for the Trojans. All kinds of opportunities here. Turn, handoff. McFarland is back into the ball game after shaking it off at the 5. Look at the goal line. In the end zone. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Trojans. And it's a 7-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. A drive that took almost half of this third quarter. 7:15 to go in the third. And so the Trojans march it down the field and cap it off on a 7-yard touchdown run by Camden McFarland, his second of the ball game. He had the first one, and now he's got this one. He'll come on to kick the PAT as well. He's perfect in that category for the Trojans.
If you're leading this offense, you got to be happy with the way that drive went. Just dinking and dunking, taking away bits and pieces, and keep moving the ball, moving the chains, and end up with a touchdown.
Yeah, Cam won't be kicking because he's wobbly coming to the sideline trying to shake off that injury he had a little bit ago. He got it shaken off enough to go in and get a touchdown run of 7 yards, and then he'll come and just kind of work his way to the sideline, walking with Doc. Turn. Nope, busted play there by Siebert. Just going to try to keep it himself. Keep his hand on the field. We'll see, though. We're going to say, man, I almost think he was across the goal line before he fumbled it. That was close, but they're not going to give it to him. And so they will say it was no good on the 2-point conversion. Make it 27-0 is your score. Trojans lead it here over the Riverton Rams. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football right here on your home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
Producers Co-op of Girard has been serving the needs of farmers and ranchers in southeast Kansas for decades. With a wide range of products and services, you'll be sure to find what you're looking for. Contact the Agronomy Center for seed recommendations, seed treatments, crop scouting, and more, or stop by the farm store for feeds, equipment, supplies, clothing, and accessories. Producers Co-op also has bulk fuels and propane available. To see everything Producers Co-op Association has to offer, visit them online at www.girardcoop.com or give them a call at 620-724-8241.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Girard Trojans cap off a long drive that started at their own 20-yard line. They go down and get it on a 7-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. And it makes the score 27-0, 7:15 to play in this third quarter. That drive took 5:45 off the clock. Yeah, that's not too bad. A 5-minute, 45-second drive to start the second half when you're on top is a good way to go. Kick to McCann. He'll field it at the 10-yard line. Center return, now bump outside. And you're going to be bottled up and brought down Tackle made down inside there for the Trojans. In pursuit for the Trojans, it was Cruz Jarnigan, 5'8", 136-pound sophomore coming in to make the play for the Trojans. So that's where the Rams will start this drive. 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. 7:06 to play.
Riverton from their own 28-yard line.
And that's where the Riverton Rams will start this one. Wide receiver near side. And a wing back. That's Shaver. Bonnie, turn, handoff. 2 guys through. Shaver gets it back on that wing, single wing. And nothing doing. Tackle brought down. No gain on the play. Clay Udock in there, along with Chandler Humble, making that tackle. Chandler has got to be somewhere near 10 or 15 tackles in this ball game. Now he's into that DN spot. He calls the huddle with McFarland over here on the sideline, a little bit shaken up. And it may just be cramps because they've got him just one water, and they're here. He's about to finish another water, and they're going to bring him another one.
Yeah, he cramped up a little bit last week against Frontenac also. They had him over there stretching him out. Hopefully he'll be ready to go next time offense takes the field.
There's a sack in the backfield. Joseph Dixon, 6'1", 213, the junior coming off this near side from that D-tackle spot. He tracks down the quarterback, drives him to the ground. It's a loss of nearly 10 on the play. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 19, maybe 18. A loss of 8. A loss of 8 on the play to bring up a 3rd and 18 now with 6:02 to play in this 3rd quarter.
3rd and 18 for Riverton from their own 20-yard line.
And Bonnie will go under center once again. Got Gilmore right behind him. Schaubers back there. He'll send a man in motion. Handoff Gilmore. Nothing doing. Clay Udock was on him. Made one guy miss. Now Carter Doherty gets Trace. Now he's going to be brought down. Boy, the Trojans swarming everything defensively, staying with the play. They finally get to Gilmore and bring him down to the ground. Not sure who got that one in the end, but a lot of guys giving effort. And it's going to bring up a 4th and a mile here for the Rams. They'll be back and punting from where McCann took that kickoff, where he fielded it earlier at about the 10-yard line. So
great pursuit there, BJ. A couple of missed tackles, but everybody, like you said, stayed with it, and eventually they got him back for a big loss.
Yeah, what I love about that is they didn't think that the other guy was going to make the play. They just kept swarming to the football and just kept going aggressively. Now the ball's loose in the end zone. Going to try to get it away, trying to go, and he'll throw it. And it's going to be throwing it incomplete, but intended. Maybe if it's in the end zone, and it's an intentional grounding, that's a safety, correct? And it should have been because he threw it, and the only guy eligible there was a wide receiver, Wyman, who got hit with the ball. They're going to just give it to the Trojans, though, on a turnover on downs at the 10. I'm thinking it should have been a safety. But maybe they say he threw it away and it was an intended receiver.
Maybe that's one of those rugby rules.
Yeah, that would have been illegal in rugby as well because he threw it overhand. Forward. You got to throw it backwards, right?
Right.
We're going to get Josh on here to give us all the rugby rules, an old rugger. 1st and 10 for the Trojans, though. We'll call it a turnover on downs. 5:06 mark of this 3rd quarter. And so the Trojans will have excellent field position at the Riverton 10-yard line.
Girard is definitely winning the battle on the defensive side of the ball. Last time on offense, they moved the ball great. Curious to see what they do next round. Do you think it's time to maybe start opening up the playbook a little bit, bringing in some other guys and seeing what they got to offer, or maybe a little bit early for that?
Well, I'd say if they score here, you'll definitely start to see some younger guys maybe start to get in the ball game, certainly in the 4th quarter. Ran off the right side for McFarland, who it's good to see him back in the ball game as well. A gain of a couple, maybe 1 yard to bring up a 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line.
1 yard gain in the play.
And to bring up a 2nd down and 8 from the 8. 2nd down and goal from the 8. 4:44 to play in this 3rd quarter. Trojans leading it. Change that. Zach, that's your job. Allow me to do that. I got lots of jobs for you, Zach.
Score change.
27-0.
I couldn't even keep stats. How am I going to keep score?
Here's Seaver throws it out. Ill-advised, but Cam lucky to fall on top of that, and he does. And it's going to be a loss of the play, but could have been a lot worse. And that just didn't look good. Well played by that far side DN to come up and kind of disrupt stuff. But the Rams sniffed that one out and caused the Trojans to lose about 4 yards on the play to bring up a 3rd and 13, 3rd and goal from the 13, 4:08 to play in this 3rd quarter. The Trojans have had the ball almost this entire 3rd quarter. They had a 5-minute, 45-second drive to start it, and then they got the ball back at the 5:06 mark, and so they've already used up about a minute and a half of that time.
Yeah, it's almost exactly the opposite of the way it went down last week at Frontenac.
Exactly. Here's Siebert going to pass it, looking downfield. He had a man, just in and out of, or just beyond where his reach was. Well played, McCann in coverage there against Creed Curran, the intended receiver, and bring up a fourth down. And see, maybe they take a shot at a field goal perhaps here.
Yeah.
We'll see. Camden stays in there and still trying to shake off that right leg that's bugging him a little bit. 3:45 to go in the third quarter. 27-0 your score. They're going to go for it on fourth down and goal from the 13-yard line. You got to get in the end zone. All the plays. Trojans go 4 wide receivers. Here's Siebert. A little bit of time, throws it behind the intended receiver. It wasn't going to be enough for a first down or a touchdown anyway. Intended for Thomason. And it will.
After the drop passes, it seems like the passing game just can't quite get synced up. The timing's just not quite there.
Well, the Trojans with excellent opportunity. You think you got it first and goal. That's how the drive started. After a turnover on downs, first and goal at the Riverton 10-yard line, and you turn it over on downs here with the 3:39 to play. And so now the Riverton Rams will start at their own own 13 rather, here at this 3:39 mark. And Bonnie will go under center here for Riverton. Gilmore's behind him. Turn, handoff. Gilmore barrels us forward, and he'll run up near the 19-yard line. That'll be a good gain of about 5 yards on first down and 10 for Gilmore, maybe 6 for Gilmore. It is a gain of 6, bring up a second down and 4. One of the best runs between the tackle we've seen so far. And
a big, solid, thick guy, and just kind of found a little crack in there, pushed forward, and fell forward for a few.
And he's a guy that's going to, he'll be hard to tackle for some teams in the CNC, and he'll get some yardage throughout the year and give them an opportunity as the season progresses. There's Bonnie under center again. Turn, handoff, coming near side. Well played by Thomason. Well tracked down by the Trojans from behind as well. Helped out there by Carter Doherty coming down from that tackle spot to make the play, and it's a loss of about 3 on the play to bring up a third down and 7 for the Rams.
You also got sophomore Cruz Jarnigan in on that, so it does look like maybe some of the guys that maybe not be the first quarter starters starting to get in the game.
So the Trojans defense still being tough. 2:32 to play in the third quarter. 27-0 your score. Trojans on top of the Riverton Rams here in their home opener. Turn going to keep it. Bonnie rolling outside. People dive at him. Stays on his feet. Lets it fly. Had a man over there, Creed Curran. Good coverage for Creed. And it was intended for Riverton's number 17, and that is Elijah Mestis, 5'7", 130-pound sophomore. Curran over there on the coverage. Creed's, I think, cramping a little bit as well. And talked to Coach a little bit. He mentioned in the postgame show about conditioning, and he didn't feel maybe this team was in the best condition. He took all the blame for that to make sure they were ready. And so I asked him about that in the pregame. If you had heard it, he talked about, I said, how did you guys condition in the middle of the season? And he does it mostly through reps, just being a little more, having a little more pep in your step during rotations of stuff, and then some more speed offense, getting out of huddles just to maybe do some of that conditioning while you're practicing. Cam McFarland back to return. He got it at the 41. Across the 35, up near the 30, up to the 25, and then maybe knocked it out to the 25-yard line. And another great field position for the Trojans to start this drive, as it was a nice return by Cam McFarland.
Yeah, they came back this week, and they definitely went to work in practice and hit that conditioning. It wasn't just lip service. Coach meant it when he said it. He said they were going to work hard, and they did. They got a lot of work in this week, and plenty of opportunities to do some of that conditioning out there on the field.
For sure. Trojans will start at the Riverton 22-yard line here with 2:05 to go. Again, they've held it most of this third quarter. They've only got one touchdown to show for it. It was a long drive to start the second half. Ty Norris in at quarterback now. Send Curran in motion. Cam McFarland back in. Running that option. Norris pitches it out finally to Curran. Said, here, you take it, hot potato. Creed will. He's got some blockers out in front. Here's a flag going to come in, and Tyler Shirtano is just walking. He think he knows it's on him. It's going to be a touchdown, Gage Shirtano, but I think it's going to be brought back. Flag sits at the 15-yard line. And Creed, a good run, would have been his third touchdown of the ball game, but
come back across the field. That's untouched in there.
Just the body language of Shirtano let me know that was probably against him. When Creed was still running to the end zone, and he was walking back with his head down already.
Yeah.
Frustrated about it. But that's a tough one because he doesn't expect that running back to be doing that. That wasn't the way the play was designed. He was supposed to be on the outside of Gage, and instead, because of the way things developed, he comes back inside. And so when that defender starts to do that, he comes back across your face, and you end up holding him unintentionally. And so the Trojans, the couple of scores to update. Well, we got an injured Ram making his way to the sideline. Appreciate Josh going to work on this. Coffeyville adds to their lead, leading 38-14 over Parsons in the third quarter. Neota Shea in the third quarter still up 28-0 over Oswego. Columbus has come back to tie things up at the third quarter over a Pawnee, Oklahoma, non-conference ball game for those guys. All tied up at Emporia as well, Emporia and Hayden. And we'll get some more as well. Pittsburgh High over there at Hutchinson Field, taking on the Chanute Blue Comets. They had them held out scoreless in the first half, and they continue to do that. 42-0 your score. Last update we had over in St. Paul, all over Chitopa, 48-0. Here's Norris. Turn, hand off McFarland. Good cut again against the grain. Still on his feet across the 20, up to the 20-yard line, or right at the 20-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 5 yards, maybe 4. No, we'll give him 5 on the play. The Rams have been fatigued as well, and here's a player that's, I think, cramped. That leg is completely cramped up. Look at it. Oh, that is painful to watch. I don't think it's an injury, and I certainly don't think you go and just grab it if you're one of the players, if there is a major injury. But it's just a cramp. That thing is completely balled up. I've had those happen to you, and that is not any fun. So they're going to work on him a little bit. Score right now, 27-0, minute 26 to play in this third quarter. Got an injury, we'll take it. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student-athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
They'll get the injured Ram off the field. Just kind of walk that cramp off that's in his look like calf and get him off the field. And, you know, numbers are a problem for both teams. Trojans don't have a lot of guys out as well, about 36 to 38 of them, and I think the Rams are kind of in a similar boat, maybe just a few less. So you can't have a lot of injuries if you want to compete. Certainly, Trojans are in that kind of same situation. Luckily, so far, for the most part, people have stayed healthy. Do miss Will Rasnick in the ball game this year, out right now with a separated shoulder, and so hopefully he can work his way back in there. But that tough injury there. And
there's anything good about a cramp, that it goes away.
Yeah, for sure. Turn, handoff in around again. Curran, another stiff arm, gets across the 25, or a 20, not much of a gain, maybe a gain of a yard, maybe 2 on the play by Creed, giving 2 yards to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Trojans. A minute to play. I'll do my best here at this quarter to try to figure out the time of possession for the Trojans in this third quarter, but it has been dominant. Got 1 touchdown to show for it. 27-0 your score. Trojans leading it here over the Rams in this home opener to move hopefully to 1-1 on the season. And it will bring up Ty Norris. High snap, lost it. He gets it back. Just going to be lucky to hold on to that. And it was a jailbreak after that. Not well executed there for the Trojans. And that there is certainly going to be plenty still to work on. You got to feel good about where you're at if you're the Trojans right now. Certainly up 27-0. Their defense has been really good, pitching a shutout. But there's plenty of areas, and I think some lack of focus at times on both sides of the ball, but primarily on the offense, has been an issue.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of high snaps, some miscues in the passing game, some drop passes. Definitely still some things to work on.
I do think, though, the Rams, the strength of them has been their defense, and they've stiffened at times here in this ballgame. That's the end of the third quarter. The Trojans lead at 27-0. We're back in 1 minute. You're listening to Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
When you're looking for Frigidaire innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Hydrix. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Frigidaire appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months.
The only thing better than our price is our service. Heidrich's, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about their e-Power checking, mobile banking, and bill pay, and new Guardian Secure Checking. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, and a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans!
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
There we go, fourth quarter. What was that, powder? Josh, did you get that? Yeah, everybody's covered in powder in Trojan student section. Fun group. They were the highlight the other night whenever they flipped up their cell phones to get things lit, Frontenac, whenever the lights went out. And tonight they've got powder all over the field. That's just going to hang. There's no wind. That powder is just sitting there in the air. Trojans flip it. They'll go from right to left now as they change things over. They started that drive with 2:05 to play, and here's a pump and go by Ty Norris. Can let it go. He's got Saban, and it's caught by Saban, and the official gives a touchdown sign at the 5-yard line. Due to be just shy of a touchdown, but it certainly was a great catch by Saban as he caught that ball. There was two defenders that flew right in front of him, and I think the official may have lost where he was at on the field. He was at the 5 and not the goal line. It's okay. Hopefully that's just a foreshadowing of things to come for the Trojans as they'll have it first and goal now at the 5.
That'll help you forget about maybe one of those passes you didn't hold on to earlier.
Absolutely, because there were defenders in his face and he still made the catch. He got up as excited as everybody else because that thing just found his chest. Good ball by Ty Norris.
Yeah, great
as
throw.
Well. First and goal from the 5-yard line. Shotgun for Norris. Looks like a blitz coming by the Rams. Turn, hand off McFarland. Got a hole off the right side, trying to lean forward. Leans, he does. Is he in? Yes. Touchdown, Trojans. A 5-yard touchdown by McFarland. His third of the ball game. With 11:44 to play. That drive started at the Riverton 22. It took them long enough to get there. 2:05 in that third quarter. Now the powder, I think, is starting to waft in here and hurt my delicate vocal cords. But it makes it now 33-0. 11:44 to play in this ball game. The Trojans add to their lead with a PAT forthcoming. We'll see if they decide to go for 2. Try to restart the play clock. It's down to 8. The officials trying to get that play clock started, and they don't. Now it's at 3 seconds. Trojans are going to get a delayed game, but the officials, I think, are going to look the other way because they should have the play clock started. They're Saban back-to-back. Boy, he came up and big on that drive. Did the big fella, Matt Saban, 6'2", 179, a senior. 2 big catches, one to get him in the scoring position and one to convert the 2-point conversion, and so the Trojans will add to their lead. 35-0, your score. Trojans lead the Rams here on this home opener. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
11:44 to play in the ball game. Girard Trojans add to the lead. Drive that started at the Ram 22-yard line with 2:05 to go in the third quarter. Capped off on a 5-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. Here with 11:44 to go. 2-point conversion was good as well. Trojans missed a 2-point conversion on their first touchdown of the second half. And now the center, Wade Boatman going to come on and boot this one away, but that big leg behind the kick and let her rip. Kind of off the side of his foot, going to go out of bounds. Not ideal there. And when Wade makes good connection, he gets those things to go a long ways. That time missed it off the left side a little bit, and Rams are going to have very good field position to start their drive. They have only had it, have the Rams, let's see, 2 minutes, right around 2 minutes there in the third quarter, and then give them another 2 minutes and a half. So about 3.5 to 4 minutes they had it. So that means the Trojans held for about 8 minutes plus the start of this fourth quarter. And that's a good way to win a game. If you can have a good lead going into the locker room and come out and hold on to the football, you got a real good shot to win.
Yeah, there's no other way to put it. You control the ball like that with this kind of lead, and that's game over.
First down and 10 here for the Rams from their own 35-yard line. Trojan student section all fired up. Making those new bleachers make some noise down inside there. Long pass by Bonnie down the field trying to go to McCann. The penalty flag comes down. That might give the Rams some free yardage. Kudos to the Girard School District investing in this home side. Brand new bleachers. Those bleachers have been there for a long, long time. And they came in and put these new aluminum bleachers. They're up off the field just a little bit, a better vantage point for these the old guard that's down here. I'm talking about it. A couple school board members sitting right in front of us, leaning against this back rail. And really, that's awesome that they were able to go and do that. And that's a kudos to the Girard community to make that investment in their school. And so the penalty is against the Trojans, going to give them an advantage.
You mentioned that student section over there. That's it's Americanite, I believe. There's lots of flags down there, lots of red, white, and blue face painted. So it's really showing a lot of school spirit and American spirit.
There's a run up the middle there. Carter Doherty making the tackle for the Trojans. The run up the gut for Gilmore. Gilmore, who's been off injured at times in this ball game, has really battled through and been tough for the Rams here tonight. He's made some plays defensively and been a big workhorse for the Rams. A gain of 4 on the play to bring up a second down and 7. Maybe call it a game of 3. Bring up a second down and 7 for the Rams. 10:56 to play in the ball game. Turn, handoff. This is Shaver. Shaver spinning off one would-be tackle and finally brought down across the 40, a first down. And the Rams do not have a lot of first down pickups in this ball game. The Trojan defense has been so good, and so they're a gain of about 8 for Shaver. Across the 40, it'll bring up a first down and 10 at the 38-yard line with 10:45. And, you know, you'd like to say this is chalked up to having some subs in there, but really this is the starting defense still in the ball game for the most part. Carter Doherty will check out of the ball game. One guy that's in there for the Trojans is James Finley. He hasn't had a ton of playing time for the Trojans tonight, but he's in there now with hand on the ground. Turn, handoff coming through this way is McCann. Cut back against the grain. And good tackle down inside. Austin No getting a hold of McCann along with Clay Udock. And I think McCann might have got a shot to the midsection on that play.
You also got a couple sophomores checked in, Cruz Jarnigan and Derby McReynolds in the game. So they are starting to swap out a little bit.
And that's the way to do it. You want to do it at some different positions. And so another injury on the field. We will go ahead and take another injury timeout. We'll be back to Frank Jameson Field in 30 seconds. You're listening to Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Peony Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Peony DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Peony has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Peony Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to peonydental.com.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
10:24 to play in this ball game. Girard Trojans on top of the Riverton Rams, 35-0. Continue to work on the injured McCann. McCann, another one of those guys who's really been a big part of this Riverton offense and defense tonight. Michael McCann, 5'10", 175-pound senior, just kind of shaking up there. Those guys came in and kind of hit him low, and the Trojans go and get a much-deserved break. Don't forget, tomorrow, ESPN 100.7, the home of the Gorillas, will be on the air with them. 5 o'clock is Gorilla Game Day, the pregame show. Getting you ready to get ready is what I say. Myself and Mike Snow going to be set up there in Gorilla Village. Come over and bring us food. That's our only objective. That's the whole reason we did a show. You want to talk about maybe make better life decisions. That Mike and I developed an entire show to hope people will bring us free barbecue and free goodies in the tailgate.
Well, anybody that's been out there at a Gorilla tailgate knows that there's all kinds of food, there's all kinds of fun going on out there. So, I mean, why not do a pregame?
Yeah.
You're going to be out there anyway.
Yeah, and the only bad part about it is I've got to go do a Pitt State game, and so I would prefer to get some free food and drink. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. I got to go do my other part of that job. Our pregame coverage will start at 6 o'clock. Eddie Lomshek will be on the air with that one, along with myself and Zach Dickey. And then kickoff at 7 o'clock from Carney Smith Stadium. We'll have that broadcast for you coming up tomorrow. And so they will get McCann off the field and help him to the sidelines. The Trojans continue to lead here, 10-24. You know that they would like to keep the shutout here, and so some of those young guys who have sprinkled themselves in there have got to uphold this shutout for the Trojans. Right now, the Trojans lead it, again, 35-0, 10-24 to go in this ball game. Trying to move to 1-0 are the Trojans, trying to bounce back from a tough loss to Frontenac last week to get things started. And you better be ready because the Trojans are on the road at Columbus next Friday. We'll have that ball game for you from Columbus. Our pregame coverage will start at 6:30 right here on Girard Sports Live, kickoff at 7 o'clock. On that one, be sure to go download and subscribe to this YouTube channel to be ready to get that one next Friday. Here's Boney, try to get it. Here's Chandler Humble. He has spent more time in the Riverton backfield than I think their running backs have tonight. Is Chandler Humble. He has been unstoppable here tonight.
They might as well take a guy to send to the sideline and make him their 11th guy. He's been over there all night.
Another big loss on that play to bring him a 3rd down and 15, a 5-yard loss. 9:50 to play in the ball game.
These Rams offensive linemen just have not figured out a way to even slow him down.
It has been a hard work. One tight end or one tackle. I guess no tight end to the near side. Under center goes Bonnie. Going to turn, fake it. Now pressure coming. Austin No gives him a little pressure. Can't get it. Nice play there. And coming down the field and a good hard hit. Good tracking and good effort there again. We've called his name a couple of times. Joseph Dixon, 6'1", 213, a junior coming down the line of scrimmage. Clay Udock helping out as well. Good pursuit by those big fellas coming down the line and keeping with it.
I say there's some quick feet out there for those big guys out there.
They were persistent for sure. Good initial pressure was brought by Austin No, but those guys cleaned it up with him. Brings them a 4th and 17 in a punting situation here for Bonnie. He will step back to kick it. Back to receive for Girard is Derby McReynolds, 5'9", 143-pound sophomore. Low kick. Reynolds going to catch it on the squib up at the 30. Try to break one tackle and does, and can't break the other one. But, boy, he came back up the field as fast as that ball came down the field. Did McReynolds across the 35 up near the 36-yard line. And so that's where the Trojans will take over offensively. And this is where we will see some more substitutes into the ball game. A new offensive line, for the most part, comes in. A lot of youngsters coming into the ball game here.
Now you can probably expect to see McReynolds a little bit more as the season goes on. He missed some time, practice time, due to a little bit of injury and some sickness and stuff, but he's healthy again and coming back and ready to work. Been working hard and ready to play.
8:41 to play here in the ball game. The Girard Trojans lead at 35-0. Timeout on the field. We'll take it. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Calls is a first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
8:41 to play in the ball game. Girard Trojans on top of the Riverton Rams, 35-0. B.J. Harris, Zach Adams, Josh Lettner here from Frank Jameson Field in beautiful Girard, Kansas on a warm but beautiful fall evening here in Southeast Kansas. Some youngsters into the ball game for the Trojans. Handoff on the right side, carried by Caden Lolliman, 5'7", 173-pound freshman. And going to be nothing doing there. A loss of about maybe 2 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 for the Trojans. Youngsters up front as well for Girard. We'll kind of talk about those guys as much as we possibly can. James Finley, one of the senior guys, going to get some playing time there. Hand on the ground. Talked about Joseph Dixon. He's been big on the defensive side of the ball. He's going to come in here on offense as well on that right side. Ty Norris, the quarterback, can hand off McFarland again. He'll barrel forward across the 40 up near the 41-yard line. And Caden Lallman will make up his 2-yard loss and then some across the 40, and maybe a gain of about 6 or 7 on the play. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 here for the Trojans. For Caden Lallman. Who else is in there for the Trojans?
Younger guys coming in and see what they got, that being the future of the team, getting them in with a little bit of playing time with the varsity guys.
Yeah, Eli Tucker in there as well for the Trojans. Got his hand on the ground on the near side. Norris going to run. Trying to escape the pocket, he will. Spins off one would-be tackler, but not another, and maybe gets a gain of 3 on the play. Going to be shy of the 1st down up to the 45, and a punt situation forthcoming for the Trojans. And so not probably what they wanted to do as those guys come to the sidelines. Also coming out of there was Caleb Franklin, 5'11", 210-pound sophomore on that up front, guys. And so for a lot of those guys, that was their first varsity playing time, for some of them for sure. And you never forget that. I will tell you, I can't remember much. You guys caught me earlier. I couldn't think of the stadium I've spent a lot of time in, but I could tell you the day I got in my first varsity game was in Caney, Kansas. In 1997, it was a day I will never forget. There's a muff kick, and it's going to be Trojan football. Coming down was Gage Shirtano. He got in the face of the would-be return man, and he just went right through his belly. He didn't make contact before it got there, and
he timed that up just perfect, and then right there to cover it.
And so those youngsters get to come back onto the field. They had to run off. Now they get to come back on the field and maybe do something with it. I think that was the Trojans' first punt of the ball game. In fact, I'm pretty sure, that was the Trojans' first punt of the ball game. They've turned it over on downs a few times, but it was a fumble by the Rams.
You got Mason Hubner in there checking in, wide receiver. Split out right.
Mason will come to the near side, or to the far side. Shotgun here for Norris. Turn, handoff. McReynolds makes one guy miss. Off the left side of the 20, now the 15, and brought down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice gain, 10-yard pickup there by Derby McReynolds. And it will be a 1st down for the Trojans, probably 1st and goal at will. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. And so now the Trojans knocking on the door, another injured Riverton player. Well, these guys have struggled tonight to stay healthy in this ball game. 6:23 to play. Looks like you might have the wind knocked out of him a little bit is what I'm suspecting. Josh, you got a close-up. That's going to be nasty if what happens, what I think it is. On radio, you just get to describe that stuff, but if it's video, you actually get to see it come out. He doesn't do it, but a lot of times you take a shot to the gut, lose your breath, and then little yak.
And then your lunch follows.
He made it halfway across the field. Guys injured a little bit. The Rams take their knee. Back in action next Friday. The Trojans, boy, it was good to get right tonight against the Riverton Rams, a team that struggled a little bit. The Trojans are going to win this one, no doubt about it. But you'll find out what you're made of next week going at Columbus. We'll try to get that update before the game's over, Josh, to figure out where Columbus ends up with Pawnee. It was all tied up at 14 last we knew in the 3rd quarter. But it doesn't matter. They've got one of the best players in the state of Kansas, Keenan Stanley. But this Trojan team beat him a year ago. And I don't know how that's going to go one way or the other. It could certainly give the Trojans some confidence. They could also have Columbus something they've been talking about since they got knocked out of the playoffs. Playoffs that they felt like they had a chance to go play for a state title at some point. But the Trojans defeated them right here at Frank Jameson Field. And so we'll have that game for you next Friday.
Yeah, they could definitely be looking for a little bit of redemption, maybe a little bit of revenge.
Ty Norris, turn, hand off McReynolds on the right side. Got to try to make a guy to miss. Rip down, though. Good tackle there for the Rams. Tackled in the maybe a short gain there. Another penalty flag comes in. That's Chris McLaughlin. And so on 1st and goal, they're going to lose 4 yards, plus probably some more once the penalty gets sorted out. 6:07 to play in the 4th quarter. Trojans lead it 35-0. Girard led 21-0 at halftime. Unsportsmanlike against the Trojans. And so the Trojans, that's going to back them up a long way. They're saying somebody shoved somebody, as I think what the official's saying. Coach Philpott asked for a explanation.
gets a number that might cost somebody some wind sprints.
Yep. I'll tell you what, though, Trojans coaching staff, I take those guys into a street fight. Neil Philpott leading the way, 6'4", 220 pounds, still looks like he could play. Mark McFarland's the wild card that one because older guy, but I don't want to street fight that guy either. And some of these young guys up here, and Craig Siebert still looks like he could strap him up as well. So,
I mean, I know Mark for a long while. He might be the one that the other guys have to kind of rein in a little bit.
Yeah, the guys are in good shape. Some youngsters on this staff, but some old guys have kept themselves in shape as well. So, when it comes down to it, the game's 35-0. That's the things you talk about. Here's Derby McReynolds. Still on his feet. Is he still on his feet? They don't call him dead. Boy, that kid is fighting hard. Derby McReynolds keeping on his feet, leaving just a wake of white jerseys in his path. Those guys all struggling to get back up off the ground.
Hey, that's what you call playing till the whistle right there.
No kidding. I think he's rolled over on the body, stayed on his feet, kept him churning. The hardest working 3 yards you've seen, and got across the 30-yard line. Again, a 15-yard penalty on the unsportsmanlike cost the Trojans some yardage, and it'll bring up a third down and a goal. It's third and goal, mind you, at the 29-yard line. That's not ideal for the Trojans. But, again, some learning experience here for Girard with those young guys in the ballgame. Wide receiver to the far side is Mason Hubner. One wide receiver to the near side is Chase Couch. Ty Norris going to hand off for McReynolds. Try to catch the edge. Penalty flag comes in. Probably holding once again. This is going to be even further back on a third and goal from the 29. And it is going to be holding against the Trojans once again. And it might be a situation here, I don't know. Coach Mallett on the far side declined this one perhaps. 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Trojans leading at 35-0. And somebody made a comment on one of our Facebook posts if we would broadcast a JV game, and I guess we're obliging at this point.
There we go.
Less the quarterback situation here with Ty Norris running quarterback for him. That's what we've got here.
Well, watching number 3, McReynolds run the ball, kind of somewhat resembles the way McFarland runs the ball. Quick, makes contact, makes second contact, keeps those feet driving and pushing for extra yards.
Wide receiver will come to the near side, 2 of them. One to the far side. In the slot for the Trojans is Colton Kirby. Turn handoff McReynolds. He's got some running room. Cross the 20. Cuts against the grain at the 15. The 10. He's got at the 9-yard line. It was 4th down. He needed to get in the end zone. It was 4th and goal, but it was not for a lack of effort that he does flip the field a little bit and get it down to the 9-yard line. Give him some yardage on that carry. And it'll bring up a 1st and goal from the 10. It'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Rams. From the 10-yard line. Another turnover on downs. That's 2 turnover on downs when the Trojans have had it inside the Ram 20-yard line when the drive started. And that's not ideal, certainly. 48-7, the update we have from Pittsburgh. That's not Chanute over Pittsburgh. You transcribe those? It's Pittsburgh over Chanute. Yeah, Pittsburgh over Chanute, 48-7 in the third quarter is our last update there. Fort Scott, 50-0 over Indy. Indy had themselves some improvement over the years. But have struggled here of this year. In fact, opened their season with a loss to Caney Valley. And we did get an update. Thanks a lot, Josh. Final score. Columbus comes back to win it. So they'll be 2-0, licking their chops for some redemption like we mentioned against the Trojans. 20-14 winners over Pawnee. They fell behind early in that ball game. Were behind at halftime, but fought their way back and win it 20-14. And so the Trojans will have them 2-0. Trojans will be 1-1. As we go into that ball game next Friday night. Pregame coverage will start right here at 6:30. Kickoff at 7 o'clock here on Girard Sports Live. Turn, handoff, Gilmore, workhorse. That dude will feel like he played a game by the time this day's over.
Hey, you got to feel good if you're the Trojans after last week against Frontenac. Be really glad that you come in and had a successful night. You saw a lot of good things against this Riverton team going into Columbus and the team that they've got.
Sideline warning against the Trojan penalty. 4:29 to play in the ball game. Trojans lead it 35-0. We appreciate all those listening to us. It's pretty cool. We get a chance to track that. Encourage you to go watch the replay as well all week long. It'll be actually available probably for the rest of history. That's how the internet works. It'll probably get in the Library of Congress at some point. between one of the three of us ends up being famous, the odds are with us, right?
You know the problem with that though, BJ, is
Or committing a really bad crime.
Well,
one of the two.
The problem with that though is you can sit here and tell us about way back when in '97 when you got your first varsity action, and you can tell us how you stripped the ball and you ran it for a touch. There's no way to check and no way to fact check that.
This is good work by my cameraman. He goes and gets the score from Norton and Plainville. And the tie, of course, that's where Neil Philpott played his high school ball, Norton. And behind me, Todd Ferguson, coincidentally coached Neil Philpott at Norton High School. So appreciate you coming in and saying hi, Todd. The Trojans. That was a long, long time ago, Todd. Long time ago. Neil Philpott, quarterback for the Gorillas, and he is a good dude. And first head coaching job here for the Trojans. Rams get a good run, bring up a 3rd down and 3 here with 4:02 and counting. I love to tell the story about Neil Philpott, and we came in the same recruiting class. I actually played against him in the Shrine Bowl as well, but he come into the Weed Physical Education Building, first day of practice in the year 2000, and walks in, and I'm sitting in the hallway, and I see him walk in, and I think, that's our quarterback? Because he's bigger than me, stronger than me, and I look like I have no business blocking for him. And guess what? I didn't never block for him because he was varsity and I was not, and that's the way it stayed forever. But he was certainly a big-time player for the Gorillas back in the day, and he's got a bright future in coaching, no doubt about it.
That was definitely an exciting time to watch the Gorillas. That team, that was fun to watch.
Quarterback at one time with the most prolific offense in the history of college football, broke a record, the most prolific offense in college football history, and broke a Harvard record that stood for over 110 years in yards from scrimmage and touchdown scoring and all that stuff. And Neil was really good, and there's no doubt about that he was a factor and one of the main factors. They did have a dude running the football named Jermaine Race that didn't hurt.
Don't forget about that.
And a fullback named Joe Taylor that could block, and another quarterback named Andy Majors who could throw the ball as well. And they were certainly stacked. Jermaine Carpenter, who was one of the fastest dudes in the country. And so,
every game was a 3-hour-long highlight reel. Just every play.
And I was in college putting together those highlight reels, and it was a lot of fun. We've lost track of what's happening here. The Rams get another first down, though. They haven't had a lot of those, and so some success here to try to close out things for them. Riverton open up the season with that loss to that Columbus team that the Trojans are going to be playing. The Rams are in action again next Friday as well, as the Rams will take on Coffeyville. At home, Rams and Coffeyville. That's going to be an opportunity for them to maybe get a win for sure. It's tough. Riverton and Coffeyville, the Ville.
Hey, that's just another advantage of having the video, BJ, is that when we get caught up in our witty banter, that the folks at home can just watch the game and enjoy our conversation.
And probably put it on mute. That's what I'm guessing. And that's their prerogative. They have that option.
That's the beauty of the
just
technology.
Don't mute the commercials. So the Ville actually improved a little bit. They're 46-14 right now, leading Parsons in the fourth quarter of that ball game. So, maybe not, but I think Parsons struggling as well, and so hopefully they will. Here's a new running back into the ball game for the Trojans. Handoff on the right side. That is Caden Byram, 5'11", 156-pound freshman. So freshman getting some playing time in this ball game as well. The turnover on downs by the Rams brought the ball back to the Trojans. 2:27 to play in this ball game. Trojans lead it 35-0. Again, the Trojans scored on the first 3 offensive possessions of the game, jumped out to a 21-0 lead. They did kind of dip a little bit offensively in the latter part of that first half, but came out in the second half. Opening drive, took it down the field and scored 80 yards and capped it off on a touchdown run. And Phillipsburg, you're giving me scores from Phillipsburg and Smith Center? You know how far away Phillipsburg and Smith Center are? Of the listeners we have, and there's quite a few listening, I could almost guarantee you none of them care about that score. I appreciate your efforts, though, Josh.
I mean, there was a time when that had been national news, Smith Center
It
losing,
would have
right?
been. That's true. We are not national news, I can guarantee you that. 35-0 your score, minute 30 to play. International, worldwide.
We're the internet.
Perhaps. 3rd down and 8 here for the Trojans. Quarterback in for the Trojans as well. Ty Norris goes out. Cruz Jarnigan, the quarterback. Turn, handoff, right up the middle. Good run off the right side. Still on his feet. The penalty flag going to come flying in. These guys were pretty quiet on the penalty flags throughout most of this ball game, but one comes in there, and that's probably going to be a holding down the field. Trying to make that one play. Another good run, though, by Caden Byram. Right up the gut on the handoff. there from Jarnigan.
Well, he had a hand on his face when he was tackling him, and I wondered if maybe he got a little bit of that mask.
So it's a face mask against the Rams, so that good run will hold. Clock ticking with 1:18 to play, and it's stopped right now as they move the football. So this young crew, maybe a chance to add to this lead for the Trojans. They're going to have it first and goal at the 3-yard line. Maybe the 4 is what they say officially here for the Trojans. They'll lead them up to the line of scrimmage. Will the big fella for Girard? Caleb Franklin going to run that center spot. He'll hover over the football. Those other big fellas come and put their hands on the ground as well. Under the center goes Cruz Jarnigan. And he's going to take a knee. Well, that is teaching probably a better lesson than if they scored, is you don't need to score, you don't have to score. There's no bonus points in football, and so Coach Philpott going to make that decision. That is a class move right there to take a knee on it and take the victory.
Even though there are probably a couple of freshmen, sophomore out there who would love to have that chance to sniff the end zone for the first time.
That's all right. This is a marathon, not a sprint. When you're building a program, you need to teach some of those lessons and instill that in these young men, and that's what he's doing right there. Take a knee and get your victory and win with class. KAWC, back in those days, was the slogan as well for the Gorillas, KAWC. And it involved, I can't say it on the internet, but I'm not going to, kick with class. If you can do the phonetics there, figure out what that says. But, yeah, that's what the Gorillas
well, they did that there. Week in and week out.
That's right, and that's what the Trojans are doing right here with the win. 20 seconds to tick it away here in this ball game. 35-0 is your score, and the Trojans are going to move to 1-1 on the season and go down to that big showdown in the CNC down to Cherokee County to take on the Columbus Titans in that ball game. We're going to have it for you right here. Congratulations to these young men to get off the schneid, get a win, and to bounce back mightily against this Riverton Rams team here, and hopefully they'll even more they can build on. That's the fact is here they're trying just to add one thing to another and continue to improve. And that's exactly what has happened here tonight as the Girard Trojans get the victory. Final score 35-0 over the Riverton Rams. We're going to talk about it here on the postgame show. We'll come back, we'll recap this ball game, let you know how we got where we got, and we will also hopefully talk with the head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. All that much more still to come here on the Evans Motors postgame show. Evans Motors postgame show brought to you by those goofy guys over there at Evans Motors. Make sure they've been helping people get around since 1935. Stop by the lot just south of Pittsburgh. See Nate already for a test drive. Let them find you the vehicle that is right for you, or check out their online showroom at evansmotors.net. The Evans Motors post-game show. Again, we'll talk with the head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, and wrap things up here from Girard. Trojans win it 35-0. You're listening to Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Norris Outdoor has a huge selection of quality billboards spread throughout southeast Kansas, giving you the ability to put your business in front of thousands of customers daily. But did you know Norris Outdoor can also be where you get your next digital sign for your business?
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the 4-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
Norris Outdoor has a huge selection of quality billboards spread throughout southeast Kansas, giving you the ability to put your business in front of thousands of customers daily. But did you know Norris Outdoor can also be where you get your next digital sign for your business, school, church, or sports venue? Norris Outdoor Signs is now a distributor of Sky Slate digital signs, giving you direct from the manufacturer pricing and giving your business a brand new look with high-resolution digital signage. To learn more, call Jared Norris at 620-249-7462. Norris Outdoor is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
For all your insurance and financial service needs, call your State Farm agent TJ Belcher in Girard today.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Back out here, Frank Jameson Field in Girard, Kansas. Girard Trojans victorious here tonight over the Riverton Rams. Moved to 1-0 on the season. 35-0 winners over the Rams as we begin the Evans Motors post-game show. The
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
First National Bank of Girard is proud to be the oldest bank in Crawford County, serving the area since 1878. With 139 years of experience, it's no surprise First National Bank of Girard has such a great reputation for quality customer service. First National Bank of Girard is committed to providing the best quality products and services, including online banking and bill pay, loans, CDs, and more. Use the convenient drive-up window or come on in and see all of the friendly faces at First National Bank of Girard, proud supporter of Trojan Athletics.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
With you, talking to the head football coach now here of the Girard Trojans. Victorious here 35-0 over the Riverton Rams. His coach's interviews. I lost it. Christ, I can't find it. What's that from? Final interview brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. They've been serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans, and learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Coach, congratulations. First win as a head coach here for the Girard Trojans. It's got to feel good to get that first win under your belt. Got to feel good about how your guys kind of bounced back after the tough loss last week.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Little Bob Uecker moment.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Exactly.
Yeah, it does. Obviously it feels good to get a win. I think our guys, they
Learn more at chickenanniesgerard.com or call 620-724-4090. Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about their e-Power checking, mobile banking, and bill pay, and new Guardian Secure Checking. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, and a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans! Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
G&W Foods is the one-stop shop for everything you need to feed the family. With a great selection of quality, fresh, and delicious foods, you're sure to find something to satisfy every appetite. With friendly and knowledgeable staff, the folks at G&W Foods can help you find what you need so you can get in, get out, and on your way with your day. Plus, don't forget G&W Foods for the great daily lunch specials. Open 7 days a week. Check out their weekly Facebook-only specials. The G&W Foods family super wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Back out here one final time here on the Evans.
This is Trojan Football on your new home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Crocan Telephone, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Brumback Service Center, Call Service, Chicken Annie's of Girard, Chris Paoni, DDS, Community National Bank and Trust, Evans Motors, Exchange State Bank, Farm Bureau Financial Services, First National Bank, Fort Scott Community College, Girard National Bank, G&W Foods Family Super, Hydrix TV and Appliance, Canar Eye Care, Lehman Realty, Larrett's Ceramics, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Medical Lodges Girard, Mini Stop, Norris Outdoor, Pearls and Curls Boutique, Producers Cooperative Association, TJ Belcher at State Farm Insurance, and Westridge Assisted Living. This is Trojan Football.